Hey guys, it's Tom. It's a Friday afternoon on the East Coast, Friday morning on the West Coast for Dennis Crowley. And
Morning, Tom.
afternoon, Dave, over here.
Oh, that's
and
an afternoon in New York.
That's right. And Dave Szymanski is joining us to be the color guy, I guess, is what it is. And we're here with the Frozen Tundra Super Bowl, right, Dave?
That's correct. That's it. Or sometimes referred to as the Ooper Bowl.
Okay.
The Oops banner kind of started the Frozen Tundra League, Autumn Wind, and the Spring Fever. So it's all derivative of the Oops League. So sometimes we always refer to the championship game as the Ooper Bowl.
I gotcha. I'm a little thrown off here because I normally have a nursing treatment on Friday mornings, and it got rescheduled. And it's like, so I'm not set up as well as I normally would be to call a game. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. All right. So you're 1st and 10 for Dennis.
You're a pro.
Right to Sammy Watkins is it complete? So Dennis has got Derek Carr quarterbacking, Spencer Ware running back. I remember I helped Dennis with the draft for this team last year, and I think he said that Jeff Smith's got an excellent defense. Is that correct, Dave?
Yes, he does. And it's kind of interesting that the stats show that Dennis had a much better season with an average defense.
Really, even in terms of points allowed and things like that?
Yes, definitely.
And what were the records for these two teams? I'm obviously not in this league as we now face a 3rd and 14 for Dennis.
Dennis and the Seahawks were 15-1, and Jeff and his team were 12-4.
So the 3rd and 14 now for Dennis at his own 21. Big play here. Goes 3 wide, 1 halfback. Eric Swoop is the tight end. And you see all the 5s and 6s. He does have a 4 extra defensive back, meaning Jeff Smith. Right end 0, probably only on the passing downs. Short pass, Julio Jones, being single covered by a 6. And it's complete for 13 yards, just short of a first down. Now, Dennis, we know, likes to go for it aggressively. It's 4th and 1, but he is facing an excellent, and it's the first minute and a half of the Ooper Bowl. Maybe even Dennis will punt it here. We'll see.
Yeah, that's interesting. We'll see. You're right. He is aggressive.
And Dennis likes to play quickly, and notice that he's taking his time in this play here. I know he's not listening. Otherwise, I would tell him to punt the ball.
He often listens to you, Tom.
That's not my experience, actually.
Oh, okay. I always.
Well,
Well, you're taking partial credit for his roster here for your advice, aren't you?
He likes my opinion on young players. As long as it's not an autumn win, where for some reason I've not been drafting well. But he has his own opinions and knows who he wants as well. So, he with this league when I was helping him last year, he was definitely using my input a lot in the first couple rounds of the draft. I think that was a draft where, like 10 minutes before the draft starts, he says, "Hey, you doing anything?" I said, "Why?" He says, "Oh, I'm drafting in 10 minutes. I could use a hand." I was like, "Why don't you give me a little more heads up?" So I was just going totally off the top of my head, and he emailed me something really quickly. But now I don't know what's going on here. Are we still connected here?
I don't know. It's
Dave, why don't you type in it? You'll have an easier time typing. Are you in the game also, or are you only watching it through my broadcast?
I just joined you. I didn't even get into the game.
All right, I'm going to dictate to Dennis. Hold on. Wake up. Spell mode off. Are we good? Question mark. Go to sleep. And he's going to go for it. All it took was me typing in, "Are we good?"
That's right. You pushed it.
Now he's going 2 tight ends, 2 wide, 1 running back. Austin Safarian Jenkins on the left side. The normal right end is a 4 for Jeff Smith.
I say a linebacker there.
I think he would be more likely to go off tackle because he might see the safety plug the linebacker zone. I don't think we're going to see a pass at one of those 6s because flat pass against those guys is tough. Unless he thinks that Jeff's going to go short yardage, then it's usually has a good feel for his opponent's tendencies. So if Jeff Smith is a short yardage guy, then you probably see Dennis throw a flat pass. Off tackle right to where I see. That's why he didn't go for the linebacker. He knew that would be stuffed.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
the linebacker's there. Gains the 1 yard, first down. So the first big play of this Uber Bowl, Frozen Tundra. Now, would this be the 2017 or the 2018 Frozen Tundra season? How do they work the calendar in that league?
Oh, I think they call this 2017.
Okay, that's when the season started. Makes sense. We have an Emerald right for Spencer Ware. Offensive onside tackle +6 or +1. And a 4 or 6 yard gain. I just got a text from someone who I don't know. 2nd and 4 for Dennis at his own 41. That was Jack Conklin making the block, another young player. This is a young team for Dennis. We're not used to seeing him with all the young players. Short pass, Julio Jones, guessed correctly. 3 men there. Receiver gets right, 20 yards and a big first down for Julio, who had, I think, over a 17-yard average last year and has an excellent short pass card for yardage. Of course, he's maxed out on the completions, possibly on his way to the Hall of Fame if he keeps things up the way he has in the NFL. This defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sixes on defense. Now, does this league play the autumn wind rules, Dave, in terms of dump off and stuff like that?
You know, I always get confused which rules are in which league. I just sort of, I think they play pretty much the same as the autumn wind. I think we have the dump off in this one, though.
Well, that would be the big difference, dump off or no dump off. They do play the wide dice 6, as we saw it come into play there. 2nd down and 1 for the Seahawks. At the 30, brings in Robert Turbin to save some of those precious carries with Spencer Ware. And the short pass, Julio Jones, guessed incorrectly. A lot of receiver readings of play. Receiver gets wrong, 17 yards and a big first down to Julio. Down to the New Jersey 13.
We were talking about the defenses, Tom. New Jersey's finished number 20 against the pass with an 84.1 rating, and Dennis's Seahawks finished 9th at 76.5. So it's a difference.
Well, you're excellent. You finished 20th against the pass in rating. That's unusual. Emerald left for Spencer Ware. Defense gets his pass. Dennis running at the 4. Short gain. Could be a touchdown. There it is. 13-yard touchdown. Mr. Crowley makes it look easy. He says, Tom, that's why you go for it on 4th and 1 from your own 34 on your opening possession of the Uber Bowl, 90 seconds in.
Yeah, didn't you tell
the extra point is no good, 2-10, so it's only 6-0. We'll see if that comes back to bite Dennis. I probably have my game volume a little loud.
It sounds good at this end.
Now, a little bit like looking in the mirror here for Dennis, because Jeff has got Russell Wilson and Mark Ingram as his quarterback running back combination. That was Dennis's combination in Somifa. And I think it's his combination in one of the other Somifa leagues, such as SSFA or something like that. So, but he certainly knows those cards well. And that was an 18-yard run by Ingram. Short pass, Mark Ingram, dump off. We do play the dump off in Frozen Tundra. I did not know that. All right, there it is. Okay, big difference as you know. Dennis likes to show blitz. When you get a chance, Dave, why don't you tell us the pass blocking left to right on New Jersey when you get a chance to look that up? It's hard for me to scroll over and easily the way my mouse works and easily get it. My mouse always flutters a little bit. 2nd down and 5 for Jeff. Looking past Antonio Brown. Dennis blitzing. Linebacker in zone +1 or +6. But Todd Davis, 4 on a 4 makes the play. Only a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 4 now for Jeff at his own 46.
Yeah, Dennis in Seattle was number 1 in sacks in the league with 41. So.
Yes, he was telling me that he enjoyed playing Daniil Hunter as a 0 left end with Marcus Golden, a 0-5, I believe, behind him. Both excellent pass rushers. And that it worked real well for it. Dennis is good at playing with a very good pass rush, even if the rest of the defense isn't that strong. Long pass, Antonio Brown is incomplete on Russell's card, and Jeff's got a 4th and 4 from his own 46. I suspect he'll punt it here. And out comes Marquette King for the punt.
I don't know if you saw the Super Bowl of Autumn Wind, but Dennis went for it on 4th and 6 at his own 26-yard line in the first quarter. Did you see that?
In the Autumn Wind Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I did not. I think I was involved in the game, but I must have missed that.
I wanted to ask Dennis afterwards what was his thinking, because I think he was down 7-0 or 7-3, and he went for it, and it wasn't even inside 5 yards. It was like 5 or 6 yards.
Bear with me one moment here, Dave.
I'm bearing with you.
I need to set up real quick. Short pass, Julio Jones, 3 men in zone. This time, Jeff blitzing everybody. But Dennis gets a dump off anyway, 7 yards. Dennis usually has excellent pass blocking, although in that case, it was the white die 6, Spencer Ware, the running back, who was a 3. Just a couple inches. Good.
Michael, running back.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, Dave. I'm back. I had a little distraction here. Okay. 2nd down and 3 for Dennis Christie. Michael checks in. He's got a decent guess wrong card that you can run with. Plus, guys don't like to guess run against him. Looking past Austin Safarian Jenkins. Receiver guess right, 8 yards in the first down. Let me sip of water, then I'm good, okay? Carr 7 of 8 for 70 yards so far.
New Jersey is number 7 in sacks with 15.
And conversely, see if we can also get a look at Dennis's pass blocking. Flat pass left to Jenkins. Dennis throwing at the 5 here as Jeff blitzed and brought the safety up to cover the flat. And Jenkins is uncovered here. So receiver would be guessed wrong. It's a 1 in 4 chance of that. And there it is. Receiver guessed wrong. Plus 18. Guess right. That was incomplete. So you got to be careful when you're facing the 2 tight end offense. Not to blitz that right outside too aggressively. Certainly if he's a good pass defender. Now that's Brian Arakpo, 66-12 with an asterisk. So Jeff wants to get him up at the line to help that right end 4. Dennis trying to keep Arakpo home by targeting Austin Safarian Jenkins in the flats. Short pass, Sammy Watkins, play action with 4 men there. Defender X or short gain against the 5 is incomplete. Richard Sherman against the 6, rather. Sherman probably will only be a 5 next year, but we'll find out in a few months. That's still 4 months away, basically. I'm ready to skip the entire spring, Dave, so we can get our new Strat ratings.
Yeah, you're anxious already, huh?
So flat pass right to Spencer Ware was guessed incorrectly, but 10 is incomplete in Derek Carr's card. Carr's got a pretty solid card. They could throw all 3 levels, low turnovers. Next year's card will not be as good. 3rd and 10 for Dennis at the New Jersey 47. Now, a lot of times here, Dennis likes to do a draw play.
Same thing.
Especially you got the defense showing blitz, going nickel 3-3-5. If Dennis gets 6 yards, he'll go for it on 4th down. Maybe if he doesn't get 6 yards, he gets only 4 or 5. But he's facing an excellent defense, and the difference is there that the dump off is in play. Long pass Spencer Ware, defense showing blitz, but not blitzing the safety. So 6 would be a long game. The defense's card. He does have 2 blitzes on, 2 regular linebacker blitzes. And there it is.
Oh,
Sniper scope. Sniper scope beats the blitz. Long gain. Touchdown, 47 yards. It was black die 6. But see, now you show blitz, then you don't blitz the safety and you leave him back there. That would have been a sack if you had blitzed the safety, because the white die 6 and Spencer Ware was a running back who would have been responsible for picking up that safety blitz, automatic sack. Now Dennis is going for 2 up 12-0, trying to make it 14-0. It's very dangerous 3rd and long when you show blitz and don't blitz the safety. It's usually not a good idea. On 3rd and long, I would say.
Dennis goes to Ware more often than not on the 2-point conversions.
All right, we'll see what happens here. I wouldn't be surprised if he threw it, only because that run defense can be tough with all those 6s up there. I don't know how many of my 6s against the run. He is throwing it. Short pass, Julio Jones gets wrong. Receiver incomplete. The only thing on Julio's card is that 7 incomplete pass. Then it has to settle for a 12-0 lead.
Yeah, 5 times he went the 2-point to Jones with a pass, and 11 times he went, or 7 times he went to Ware on a run on his 2-point conversions.
And we had Nathan Baylor joining us in the studio audience, not participating. Dump off to Antonio Brown, not the initial target, for a loss of 1, makes it 2nd and 11. For Jeff Smith, 12. Dennis just effortlessly getting the job done so far today. Russell Wilson, 3 of 4 for 5 yards. Russell Wilson against Dennis today.
Seattle,
maybe having some mixed feelings.
Seattle's the #1 scoring offense, and this New Jersey team with Jeff Smith is number 14 in total points scored.
Where was Jeff in points allowed?
Let me see where he was in points allowed. He was. I'll have to look that up. I don't see it right here.
All righty, or just a rough idea if he's near the very top or the middle. 3rd and 6 for.
He was around the middle, and once again, it was Dennis's average defense was still better on the stat sheet with points allowed.
3rd and 6 now for Jeff. Dennis showing blitz, and he brings the house and down. Nope. I thought the animation was leading to a sack, but it wasn't. Dennis had a 5 and a 15, 1-58 sack chance, but that tricky Russell Wilson able to elude it and find Antonio Brown for a 1st down. And New Jersey needs that. I mean, it's all Seahawks so far. So interesting, Dave, that this New Jersey team, excellent against the excellent on defense, but only kind of middle of the pack in both scoring and in scoring allowed. Yet they go 12 and 4 and a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's a very strange thing when you look at the stats and then you look at the ratings. It's just got to be a lot of credit to Dennis and his defense, what he's done with that. It's just amazing. That was an unusual call, like you identified, Tom. Go ahead, call the play.
But there was a guess wrong short pass from Russell Wilson to Antonio Brown. Jeff targeting Antonio a couple of times in a row. Taking a page from Dennis's book, Dennis has been targeting Julio Jones. Maybe Jeff doesn't double team that much. Dennis doesn't like to throw to his #1 wideout. Certainly a star like Julio too often. He's always worried with a double team, but maybe he knows that Jeff stands around a little more with that excellent, or in general. There's always different coaching styles you have to think about.
It was interesting that he showed blitz and then kept the free safety back there, like you said, and that cost him a sack. It was a very unusual call there to not blitz.
Cost him a sack at the expense of a 47-yard touchdown. Now that play, Dennis had a double team on Delaney Walker, and Jeff threw a flat pass, no men, but Russell's card came through for 5 yards on a 5, 10 units of flat pass double team completion, and now it's a 2nd and 5 for the Red Dogs. Now Red Dog is like a blitzing thing. So if it's 3rd and long and you get a show blitz and your team's the Red Dog, I think you are obligated to blitz. We'll have to talk to Jeff about that. But there he gets a 1st down for Mark Ingram up the middle, and he's now in Dennis's territory at the Seattle 40. Only an average defense, as you said, Dave. 3 5s in the secondary, though, strong safety 4. But covering Delaney Walker, Dennis got to watch that. And we're right to Mark Ingram, offensive onside tackle, +2 or -2. And that's one of the things that Dennis was telling me a few weeks ago about this team and about the left outside linebacker matchup that he liked. People see the 0-0 there. They like to run the end runs. He'll blitz that Marcus Golden, who is, I believe, a 5 against the run, and of course, like a 12-7 asterisk. So people end up doing a lot of end runs against one linebacker because there's no end run draw. So you don't want to fall in love with that when you're facing the Seahawk team. 2nd and 12 for the Red Dogs at Dennis's 42. Dennis shows blitz, and there's a good chance he'll bring it or call run.
Yeah, he does a brilliant job of covering that 0. It's unusual to see a 0 linebacker on a championship.
One pass, Zach Miller challenging the safety blitz, but incomplete on Russell Wilson's card. Might have been a good time for an inside draw there.
Now you say it.
Well, I was listening to your commentary, Dave.
Oh, okay.
3rd and 12 as we start the 2nd quarter. Jeff desperately wants this conversion. I don't know what his kicker is like from 33 to 37. Usually you're not going to bother trying to get only 5 yards for a long field goal there, given that you might miss it and give the other guy great field position. Dennis showing blitz again. If Dennis shows blitz, he's probably going to bring blitz. I think Matt Forte's is 0-7, though. You got Harry Douglas covered by 4. You got Walker covered by 4. You could try a flat pass to Forte. You do risk the automatic sack on the 6, but he's not likely to be double teamed, and he might even be guessed wrong on the receiver card, which is 1 out of 4. Flat pass right to Hopkins. Dennis blitzing everyone. Nobody there, but guessed right. 7 yards. Sets up a 4th and 5 for Jeff at no man's land at the 35. We'll see if he goes for the long field goal or if he goes for it. If his kicker is shaky, here's where you want to go for it.
Being down by 12 is a factor too.
Well, he could kick 4 field goals and tie it up.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
2-6 for the 33-40 for Will Lutz. The variable, not much of a consideration here. I think you have to go for it, and I think Jeff makes the right move here going for it. Goes 2 tight end, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back. A running play would not be out of bounds if this linebacker's run rating is not that great. He is a 55, Benardrick McKinney, and you do worry about in those 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6 situations. In this case, 4th and 5. Oftentimes, 1 or more of the flats will be flooded, so it could be a little trickier to run your draw play and try to beat containment when you get to a linebacker and a defensive back up there. And this is a dump off league, so you might feel a little more comfortable throwing a short pass. A lot of things to consider here. He's good run blocking. You know, possibly an end run even at that 4. I don't think Golden's going to blitz on 4th and 5. I could be wrong, but he might get flooded. But you still have the regular defensive score with the tight end 6, but no blocking back on that side. Probably a short pass. And run left to Ingram, running at the 6. Gets 5 yards and gets the first down. White die 2. No containment. So that guy has to be a 0. Or, hold on. Yeah, my mouse has trouble scrolling on that when I'm calling the game. But that right outside must be a 40 outside linebacker, and that's why Jeff ran him. It's a good play by Jeff there. Got the first down to beat containment, and now he's got 1st and 10 at the Seattle 30 and a chance to get back in this game where he trails 12-0 and has not been able to stop Dennis. But a 2nd and 9. There's a draw for Ingram, but Dennis calls short yardage.
Oh, good call.
Back-to-back draws for Jeff. I don't think you want to do that too often on 1st and 2nd down.
But Dennis was all over it. That's impressive.
Well, on the 1st down, he had the draw play. Jeff called the draw against the pass call. And then Dennis said, I'm not going to let him do that again. And Ingram certainly has a quality card that you have to respect. So now 3rd and 10. Dennis deciding if he wants to come after Russell Wilson with the blitz here. Dennis is going to stay home. He might still blitz his guys, but he's not showing safety blitz. And it's a 2 tight end against a nickel 3-3-5. You'll probably see a double-double here. I would be surprised if it's Antonio. Delaney Walker, I think, will certainly get the attention. Delaney Walker gets attention. Linebook draw to Forte, but only for 4 yards. Would have been a likely interception if he had thrown a short pass. So in 4th and 6, Will Lutz, the rookie kicker, comes on. 43-yard attempt is up and good. And Jeff gets on the board at 12-3, which is not bad because if you can stop Dennis and then get any kind of score, it becomes a 1-score game.
Yeah, it sort of gets him back in the game. It was getting out of hand there with 1 more score for Dennis if that had come about. So good move by Jeff to put some points on the board, I think, at that juncture.
Yeah, but now he's got to do it on the defensive end, and Dennis has had absolutely no problem going up and down the field against this excellent defense so far in this Super Bowl. And we are early in the 2nd quarter. 11:42 to go before the half. It's been a lot of flat passing to Austin Seferian-Jenkins, or in general, the big bomb beating the safety blitz to Spencer Ware. And we're right to Spencer Ware guessed correctly. Dennis didn't want to see that. Defensive end to 5. And 12 is a 4-yard gain on Ware's card. Plus 25 guessed wrong.
Ouch.
And you see the excellent run defense, even helping with the fumble, of course, because I don't think Spencer Ware's normal guess right fumble is 23.3. That seems a little higher than he normally is. Short base, Julio Jones now Jeff double teams, and hoping to avoid the dump off here. But Derek Carr threads the needle on his own card 3, right, wrong, and double team for 12 yards. And Julio's got 4 catches for 62 yards, but at least Jeff finally giving the double coverage.
That's even though you've got defense, though.
Even though you've got a 6 covering 6s out there, covering a guy like Julio Jones, Dennis has been just throwing to him almost every short pass, seemingly. Long pass, Julio Jones, another double team on. This is 1st and 10 now. And this one incomplete, and that might have been a long gain on Carr gets right. Yes, Derek Carr is on my one of my spring teams. 9 is a long game, right and wrong. So great double team there by Jeff. Good job by Jeff going back-to-back double teams, knowing that Dennis was thinking, all right, you double team him once, you're not going to do it again, especially with that being 1st and 10. 2nd down and 10 now for Dennis at his own 41. Flat pass left to Spencer Ware. Nobody there, and he's uncovered. Receiver is huge here. 1 in 4 chance at it. And instead he gets a 7-yard completion on his own card. Not the end of the world for either coach. 3rd down and 3 for Seattle at his own 48. Now, if Dennis does not get a 1st down here, Dave, is he going to go for it? Even on 4th and 2 or 3?
Boy, he's been awful aggressive today and every time. I think he does. I think he keeps going. I think he feels.
Yes, he's been awfully aggressive today and for about the last 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. And from birth, I guess.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back. Emmerman left to Spencer Ware, called correctly, but the defensive end's only a 4, cannot make the play. Devin Taylor is the weak link. Devin Taylor, you are the weakest link. The defense is all 5s and 6s. He's only a 4. And the white tie 5 results in a 5-yard gain at 1st down for Dennis. As he crosses midfield, 9 minutes to go, 5 carries, 29 yards for Ware. Derek Carr's been doing it through the air. Emmerman right to Ware, guessed correctly again. Offensive onside guard plus 6 or 1. Alan Barber makes the block. No, misses the block. White die 6. I missed it. Bad read by me. Only a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9. $8:24 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Flat pass right to Spencer Ware. Guessed incorrectly. 10 yards at a 1st down on Derek Carr's card. Now, Jeff's called a fair amount of run. I would probably say at this point, he's called a little too much run. I can see now why he was number 20 against the pass, Dave.
So, because he is getting burned a lot. You're right.
I mean, you know, I know he's excellent. There's another guess wrong run call, but this one only yields a 1-yard completion for Derek Carr. It's a guess wrong. You know, but he called run, and it was a pass guessed wrong. That's what I meant to say. 2nd and 9, and Dennis already in field goal range. I mean, you do have an excellent run defense here with defensive tackle 6s. You know, maybe call a little more pass than you're doing. Flat pass right to Spencer Ware, but 3's a short game right and wrong on Derek Carr's card. Ouch. 14 yards and a 1st down. Carr is 14 of 18, 179 with a touchdown.
Well, I've seen a lot of Dennis's games in a lot of leagues this year, and he's just doing everything right, and the breaks seem to be at least even or better too. So he's been amazing this run of games in multiple leagues.
Yeah, but Jeff, you know, that free safety blitz, showing blitz on 3rd and 14 or whatever, they're not blitzing the safety and not dropping 2 guys back and giving up a touchdown in the cyproscope. That's a little bit of a self-inflicted wound. Of course, Dennis has done a great job coaching. I'm just saying it would be technically only 6-3 if he hadn't done that.
Yeah.
Emmerman left Spencer Ware against Roman, a man there. Short gain, 15 yards. Dennis back inside the 10-yard line, just doing what he wants here against this quote-unquote vaunted excellent defense.
This is a critical series. Jeff's got to hold him here to a field goal.
You know, Dave, we were complaining and writing on the forum about the excellent cards being too good. Maybe they're not good enough. Jeff's having a problem here.
Need some improvement. We need triple coverage on the ratings.
That's right. Maybe you could make it, if you're excellent, it's 3 to 6 on the defense's card. Only 1 and 2 in the offense. First and goal for the 6
Put out
for
that
Seattle. Full house backfield. Christian Michael, the third man in. Line by Christian Michael, no one there. Center plus 10 plus 2. Walters into the end zone. Why you would not cover linebacker from the 6-yard line when the guy has a center 6 is beyond me. But you just give him a touchdown because of it. And now it's 18-3.
All right, you're being pretty tough, Tom.
I'm sorry, what, Dave?
You're being pretty tough.
Well,
but I admire that. It's true.
I'm trying to be better about that sort of thing, I guess.
No, don't change, Tom. Don't. I love the way you call them. As you see,
I have changed it a little bit, I think, but maybe not enough. I do tend to revert to form. We are creatures of habit. I think all of us tend to revert to form at times. But I try not to be too tough. I guess sometimes stuff bothers me. That just bothered me. That's all. 1st and 10, and the free safety blitz thing bothered me. Of course, the guy's in the Super Bowl, so he's done an excellent job.
That kind of editorial, though, it not only is provocative, but it's also instructive to people, and it's coaching philosophies. You're expressing yours, and somebody else might disagree, but that's what makes your broadcast to me interesting. Your editorial comments, I love them. Don't change.
Well, thanks, Dave. 2nd and 9 for Jeff. Dennis showing blitz. He might flood flats here because Jeff's been throwing some flat or running draws. Dennis doesn't mind giving up a draw with his linebackers back. Nose tackle 0 though. He's got all the pressure on the line. So Dennis wants to blitz. Jeff has challenged the deep. We'll see. There's a draw. Linebacker draw to Mark Ingram. Only 2 yards. Bad roll at Ingram's card. Everything else was 4 yards or more, but the dreaded 5. And now it's a 3rd and 7. I think you'll see Dennis maybe show blitz here. Maybe not because he's got the big lead. Doesn't like to be too conservative. I don't want to see Matt Forte in the game. I do. And he's in the game. He's just not that great linebacker, and your draw possibility is lessened. 3-4 blitz here. Will Dennis flood flats?
I think Jeff's got to get aggressive here.
I think short pass is the play here. He didn't go nickel 3-3-5 on you. He's showing blitz. Maybe short pass to Zach Miller, someone like that, or Antonio Brown. Dennis calls timeout because I think he wanted the nickel 3-3-5 and didn't go to it, or decided he didn't want to show blitz, or maybe not show blitz from a 3-4. We'll find out in this formation.
Yeah, he did have a change of heart with his defense, I guess. Let's see what happens. Maybe he's thinking along with me that Jeff's going to get aggressive at this juncture. No, he's
going 3-3-5. Dennis is. Now, Bernard McKinney, the middle linebacker, is an 8 pass rushing.
All zeros across the line. Interesting.
Dennis not that scared of Matt Forte. Flat pass left to Delaney Walker. Velez puts his arm, and it's on the defense's card. No men in zone. 10-yard pickup. X on the black die. No sack chance, and it was a flat pass, so that's greatly reduced regardless. And Jeff gets a clutch 3rd down conversion. And now Dennis had the ball, I believe, to start the game. We've got 3:54 to go in the first half. Jeff's at his own 38. Short pass to Delaney Walker. Receiver gets right, incomplete on a 7. But if Jeff can get something going here, go the length of the field, use up most of the clock for the remainder of the half, get some kind of score, then receive the ball to start the 3rd quarter and get a score. It's a lot to ask, but people do it all the time. It'll be a brand new Uber Bowl. Dennis blitzing, showing blitz, picked off 2 to 6, intercepted by the defense on the short pass right at midfield. Dennis will try to return this. 2-12 takes it to the house.
This is going to get ugly.
And it's returned about 12 yards by the rookie, Jalen Ramsey. And Dennis got a 1st and 10 for the Seahawks at the Red Dog 37. It's 19-3. And he's looking for more. Spencer Ware will get the ball here, I believe. Although Jeff's calling run too much, maybe not. Flat pass has been working.
Everything's been working.
Well, he's getting a lot of wrong calls. Flat pass right, Spencer Ware. Nobody there. He's uncovered. Guess right, 4 yards. I don't think Jeff is adjusting well on defense to Dennis's flat pass barrage. He keeps leaving guys like Ware and Jenkins uncovered, and Dennis is happily throwing flat passes to them. But Dennis is also mixing it up, as you said, and he's getting some guess wrong run calls also. Doing a good job keeping Jeff very off balance.
When you look at Ware's stats for the year, he had 72 catches for 829 yards, and you just can't let him go wild.
Flat pass right to Eric Swoop. There it is. One linebacker blitzing. A sack here would be quite hurtful. Defender +1 or +3. 1 yard gain. Dwight Lowry 5 makes the play, but Dennis will take that 1 yard, Dave, because it gets him into the better field goal range. Jeff with a strategic defensive timeout.
Well, this is likely a draw play, I would think.
Could be a straight line buck because he doesn't want to give up a possible run call and lose yardage to get out of it.
Blitz, he might just line buck. You're right.
I think you'll see a short pass here, Dave, because I think he knows that Jeff's not going to blitz. This is a dump-off league. You might not get a double team. You might get a flooded flat. Jeff might fear the run. I think then it's going to go a short pass here. Maybe to Watkins, I think maybe to Watkins, who's almost certainly not going to be double teamed. When you're playing for the dump-off, you want to avoid throwing to a double team guy. There's an Emma right to Spencer Ware. Defense calls pass it outside linebackers a 5. +5 short of the first down. KJ Wright with the successful containment, but Dennis guaranteed himself a better field goal opportunity unless he goes for it. It's 4th and 1, and he is going to try the field goal, which I think is the right move. I'm not surprised because it's 19-3. It's the Super Bowl. I'm saying that. He's going to call timeout. No, he's going to kick it. Okay. And Myers, I think, is pretty good out here. He's got it to be at least 2-9-12 for Dennis to try this. It's up and good. It is good, 2-9-12. 22-3. So 9 times out of 10, Dennis goes for it there, but not when he has a chance to really feel a lot more secure about a potential championship here and go up 22-3.
Yeah, I think it was the right call.
Now, we've seen dramatic comebacks, and it's very helpful when you've got the ball here, hopefully last to end the half, and then you're going to get it to start the third quarter, but you got to do something with it. So far, the Red Dogs only got 3 points on the board. I'd like to see a draw play with Matt Forte. Flat pass left to DeAndre Hopkins being double teamed, incomplete. White die 6, good double team by Dennis. That would have been 9 yards. Russell Wilson, 8 of 13 for 49 yards. No touchdown, 1 interceptions. No touchdowns, 1 interception. Draw play Matt Forte. Play for the 8 on the defense. So you got 5s of the inside guys. You know Dennis likes to blitz. He's not going to flood flats with 1:45 to go. Short pass to Lenny Walker being double teamed. Double team completion on the receiver's card. Thank you, Stratomatic. I haven't seen one of those in a while. Lenny Walker with 9 units. Now, those things don't come up that often, but it's just nice that they're there, and they should be there. First down and 10 for Jersey. At their own 35. They got a $137 and 2 timeouts, so they have time to do something.
They have to do something.
Dennis has been keeping the linebackers home. Then this time he blitzes Golden. Short pass, Antonio Brown. Down goes Russell Wilson. Marcus Golden, the left outside linebacker, 12. Nerfed down because of the formation to a 10. Going up against a veteran, Andy Levitra, is only a 5. 1-55 sack. Dennis gets it. Lowe's playing with a good pass rush. 2nd and 15. We have Nathan Baylor listening, who likes to play with a good pass rush himself. I need to learn from those guys, Dave. That is a weakness for me. Even when I have a good pass rush, I don't feel like I really aggressively maximize it.
You're
unless
right.
It's a retro.
Nathan and Dennis all take full advantage of their pass rush numbers.
Speaking of which, there's Russell Wilson getting sacked by Danielle Hunter. 5 on a 10. You love to have those down linemen with a 10, 11, 12 pass rush rating, especially in the larger leagues where you're not always going to see a wall of 7s. Because sometimes you just get like a sack out of left field. Like here you got Jawan James as a 5, Hunter is a 10 because of the formation and stuff. Normally he's a 12. But you don't have to blitz him. He's just standing there at left end. And every now and then, middle of the third quarter, tie game, 2nd and 8, guy does a short pass, bang, you get a sack.
Well, I was thrilled to get Joey Bosa and Autumn Wind in my draft.
I'm sure you were, and he'll be very helpful for many years. Should be at least a 5 next year, despite the poor PFF run grade, because he did make the Pro Bowl, and Strat gives that a lot of consideration. Long pass, Antonio Brown, 3rd-19, and we talk about pass rush, and Dennis and Strat comply. 3 straight sacks now for Seattle. Russell Wilson going down. Is that the Seahawks offensive line out there, Dave? Is that George Fant at left tackle?
I'm not sure. I don't have any graphics to look at.
Yeah, well, yeah, it looks like it might be there. Is Gary Gilliam on the field? 3 straight sacks for Dennis.
That's just
and now he's got the ball.
Nightmare first half for Jeff.
Yeah, 52 seconds left, no timeouts. I guarantee you what's going to happen here. He's going to run off tackle with, I was going to say Spencer Ware, but with Christy Michael trying to get 3 plus 41. Well, when it was Spencer Ware for the 11 plus 45, I thought he would definitely do it. But Michael does have 3 plus 41. So with a big lead, Dennis might try to hit that. Let's see if he tries to hit it or not. Maybe not. Maybe, that's like his only good number there. There it is. He's trying to hit the 3. 6.
You're right.
Okay. Well, I have Michael on one of the teams, and I know how Dennis thinks in these spots. He tried it once. He might not try it again. We'll see. Especially with no timeouts. Because it only gets you to the 38-yard line, and then you got to spike it or something. So that's going to go for it again. 20-yard short gain. That's not bad.
Very nice.
He's got no timeouts, though. A little stat padding going on. Dennis is not averse to padding his stats, Dave.
You think that's what's going on here?
No.
Stats in the postseason don't mean much, so
yeah, it doesn't matter. Dennis is not averse to padding his stats. I'm just saying.
Okay.
He has no timeouts. Now this play, will the game? Dennis knows the end of half clock better than anybody. With 15 seconds left, will the game give him a chance? There's a 16-yard run for Michael, and still not in field goal range. No timeouts. Will it give him a chance to spike it here or not? He called that play with 15 seconds left. He does get a spike.
I think it'll be 1 second left.
Yep. So now you're going to probably try the Hail Mary. Jason Myers has longer range. That's right. Oh, this would be something that was good.
That's what he's trying to do, just get in field goal range.
He's 2 to 7 and 12.
Wow. That's actually a big miss, although this is problematic for New Jersey right at this stage, 22-3.
33 to 39. Dennis got lucky there, okay? From the 33 to 39, Myers is 2 to 7 and 12, and that kick was from the 43-yard line. So there's no way that he just got the positive variable there to make it a 2 to 7 and 12, but he did get it. But then he missed the kick. So, okay.
The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. That's
right. The Strat gods did not favor Dennis. Yes, OGH, obligatory good half.
What do you do if you're Jeff now, starting off you just play a standard offense? Do you start to open it up inordinately? What is your strategy down 22-3?
Well, I have a hard time lingering and seeing what the pass blocking is when I'm not set up a certain way. And I told you about the nursing situation, so I'm not set up that way. But it looks to me like his pass blocking is not that great, certainly against an overwhelming pass rush and an aggressive coach. So opening up to go down the field, I think, is going to result in more sacks, more punts, and not get you what you want to do. I think flat passing, some running, the occasional short pass perhaps. But you got to get Dennis feeling less comfortable just blitzing ad infinitum and pummeling your quarterback into the dirt. I mean, to me, I need one good drive. I get a touchdown. It's 22-10 or 22-11 if I go for 2 and make it. And then I need to stop and a score. So I'm not going to panic yet.
That's how I play it, Tom. I've come back many times from just playing standard because the opposing coach gets a little defensive and sets back, and you can really run your regular offense. And You're right. A couple of scores and you can get back in the game.
Yeah, the problem with playing a great coach like Dennis is that he knows all that. So he might not just concede those things. He might not just concede the run or suddenly surprise you by flooding a flat. I mean, he might do those things. And so, he doesn't want you to get comfortable. On the other hand, Dennis hates calling run when he's a huge lead. He hates it. He's never said that, but just from watching him coach and playing against him, there's a looking pass to Walker, one linebacker there, defender -3 or -1, incomplete. So
I don't think you'll go total concession, but you just have to slant a little bit that way. And just like you say, anybody with a big league is really reluctant to call run.
Now, to hear 3 wide with halfback pistol, Forte's a 7. The left tackle is a 7. That was Jason Peters. Came up there against Yannick Ngakoue for a 7 on a 10, no sack. But I prefer the draw play. I mean, Dennis is showing blitz. He's going to bring it. The safety at least is going to blitz, and I'm probably Golden at least as well, if not everybody. Everybody comes at the right outside linebacker, stays home. But sniper scope, 50 yards. So much for playing it safe. 2 on a 6, 5 on a 7 for the pass block situation. Was a 1-32 sack, and Jeff hits a short pass sniper scope for 50 yards to DeAndre Hopkins, the great DeAndre Hopkins, who I traded to Nathan and Zodmifa controversially a couple of years ago. I'll tell you that story one day, Dave, if you
tell me the context.
If you want to bust out the Kleenex. The 1st and 10 for New Jersey at the Seattle 20. I had 3 receivers. I had Julio Jones. Long pass gets wrong. Zach Miller, long gain touchdown. There it is. 22-9. Now, will Jeff go for 1 or will he go for 2? If he goes for 2, it's a 2-score game. He's gonna take the 1. I think it's the right move. Plus, if Dennis gets a field goal now, you're still only down 2 scores. So, good move there, taking the 1, I think.
I agree.
The kick goes 9 yards deep. Plus, otherwise, you're playing for 2 2-point conversions. You got to make the 1 now, and you're down 11. You're going to make another 1. And there's still so much football to play.
Well, Jeff's got to really crank up the defense here.
At 22-10, you're back in it, but your defense, less run calls, please, and defend the flat pass a little bit. At least stay home. You got excellent run defense. 5.664. His line's good, but not great, except the center's a 6. He's trying to run outside on you. He's not from a blocking back. His tight ends can't block. You can call, he's killing you with flat passes.
I concurred. I think you just button it up in the middle there and just see if you can't
stand
up here.
Stand around a little bit. You're excellent. Stand around a little bit and occasionally double team Spencer Ware. Or maybe Julio. And Jeff has a work call. He needs to work on calling some plays. Come on, Jeff. Get off the phone. Oh, boy. It's weird for me to be calling a Super Bowl on March 16th.
That's true. This is not exactly prime football with the time, is it?
No. This is the Thawing Tundra, I think, is the name of this league.
Thawing Tundra. I like it.
So we got a first and 10. That was quick. He dispatched the work call. You can call run occasionally, but let's leave the linebackers home for a while. Would it kill you? There you go. Flat pass left to Austin Safarian-Jenkins, throwing at a 6, incomplete. You got 5.66 linebackers. You can flood the left flat.
Defensive coordinator Tom Cook.
You can flood the left flat with the safety occasionally because you got 6s covering his deep guys. Double team Ware occasionally, so he's going to get comfortable throwing the bomb to Ware. But the first half defensive strategy, Dennis was eating him alive. It was too aggressive with the linebackers. And we're right to where there you go. Put the linebacker in and run, but bring the safety to cover the flat. Okay. At least you have a guy there, block him back 0 -5. There you go. Now you're coaching better.
Man.
-5, 3rd and 15. Jeff's not listening to the broadcast, is he?
I don't know. He might be.
No, he's not. I looked before, but
Okay, does what do you think with 15 to go? Does Dennis get aggressive here?
It's just you and I here. Dennis, I think, will run a draw player. Double box on an 8 gets him a first down. Well, Dennis is very aggressive. He doesn't like to defer and do something that makes it easy for the other guy.
Right.
But he's playing excellent. You don't want to throw a 4-man pick. Your defense has been playing well. All right, you got burned with 1 sniper scope, but so what? He's still up by 12. I think draw play. Enough flat pass right to where. But again, a safe play, right? Hoping for no men there, hoping maybe linebacker double team gets a wrong call or a receiver, but a safe play. At least it was complete, so the clock ran a little extra. They get a 53-yard punt. What's here in the return game? Antonio Brown usually has a touchdown on 2. The punt looks like it's inside the 30. And my game crashes.
Ouch. Am I going to have to reconnect with you?
No, the hangout is good. The game is down.
Okay.
Now a word from our sponsor.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a big drive for Jeff to see if he can't put another score on the board here and really put some pressure on the Seahawks.
Indeed. I'm about to dictate to my computer, so ignore me for 20 seconds.
You're good up. You're good at dictating.
Type N key.
Tom Cook, the dictator.
Spell mode on. $50044. Go to sleep. And looks like we're back. And looks like
3rd and 3.
Yeah, Jeff may have gotten a good return there. 3rd and 3 to zone 45. Looking back to Zach Miller. Guessed wrong because then it's the blitzing.
Oh, look at that.
Complete.
He dropped it.
It was the receiver guessed wrong because the coverage guy wasn't there.
Oh,
and Jeff's going to punt it.
Killer. It's a killer.
Yep. 30 out of 36, 5 out of 6 were a first down. Not to mention Russell's flat pass right card was good. There was no man in the zone. So that was a very likely first down. That became no first down.
Well,
did get a good punt, though. And now he's got to play defense here.
Now, if new defensive coordinator Tom Cook can hold him here.
Well, let's see if he continues like last time. Off tackle right to where I guess his run, believes the linebacker's home. That's fine. Get a right call occasionally. Don't want it to concede the run. Defensive onside tackle plus 7 plus 2, 7-yard gain. He was just calling too much run on defense and too much linebacker movement on defense in the first half. 2nd down and 3. Christine Michael checks in. The old bringing the backup running back on 2nd and short to try to get away with a guess wrong carry. Most of us know that tactic.
Well, that was a big block.
Linebacker Christine Michael, but no gain because that time he gets past and brought everyone up.
Okay,
and,
Dennis Michael here.
This is a huge play here. Dennis has an excellent run pass balance normally. Do you really want to run Michael at these 6 defensive tackles?
He runs Michael. That's my call.
I think you're going to see a flat pass at one of the 6s. Linebacker Christy Michael guessed correctly, no gain. It's that guessed right column for Christy Michael.
Did he guess right? Did he guess run on that?
He guessed run and he plugged the zone.
Wow.
And now it's a 24-yard shank punt. Jeremy Curley, the defensive 38, returns it 10 yards, a 14-yard net. Now, I used that Christy Michael card in AW, Dave. I just looked at that linebacker right column. Nothing in that column gained 3 yards or more. So you had to guess wrong there or get the defense, but he blitzed, should say plugged the run zone, and we are looking at a comeback in the making if we can score a touchdown here. Short pass to Andrew Hopkins, defender X, or a short gain, first down, 15 yards. Jalen Ramsey, the rookie 5, will be a 6 next year. Dennis needed that 6 now. It was a wide die 6. 7:30 to go in the 3rd quarter. Red Dogs down 20-10 at the Seattle 15. That was like a turnover with that shanked punt.
With that great call on 3rd down. That was an exceptional call.
Off tackle right, Mark Ingram gets the block behind Juwan James, only a 4. 4-4 after the white die 6 beats the corner 5. So the white die coming through for Jeff here after the 14-yard net punt. 2nd and 3 for the Red Dogs at the Seattle 8. Dennis showing blitz. You know Jeff wants to run it, but you can get run keyed so easily here. Maybe a linebacker, Russell Wilson, unusual call, gets a little closer. He's not going to be keyed in 2nd and 3. You're 6-6-6. No, we did not go full house. See, I like going full house here. You're 6-6-6. You see linebacker marking him too easily run keyed. Too easily run keyed.
Right.
And you lose 2 yards there.
That's a huge loss.
And that's going to bounce back 3rd and 5. Russell does have the must-run capability. So you throw that short pass. It's not necessarily all or nothing. Russell can help you with the pass or with the must-run. Dennis going nickel 3-3-5 blitz. There's no dump off inside the. We're back at the 10 now, so the dump off is back in play.
Ah, yes, indeed.
He's got the right end 0, Yannick Ngakoue in there. He's showing blitz with the safety, but inside the 10 doesn't mean you're going to blitz him. He's blitzing. Short pass, Zach Miller, defender extra, short gain, touchdown. Dennis blitzed the right outside linebacker. It was a white die 5 anyway. It was a 5 against an 11 in the pass rushing situation. 1-45 sack, but no sack. Touchdown for the Red Dogs. Now they can make it 22-18 if they go for 2 or kick the extra point to make it 22-17. And whatever chart Jeff has says go for 1. So Will Lutz for the extra point. Makes it 22-17. Interesting situation there with the 1 versus the 2. I'm not sure what I would have done. You really could make it argument either way.
I don't see any advantage for the 2 at that point.
Well, you make it
here now get you the championship.
Oh no, you're right. I was thinking 22-19 if he gets 2, but it would have been 22-18. You absolutely go for 1. You're right. Plus, if Dennis scores a field goal, you're still within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Right.
So now we got 6 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. It's a brand new game here, 22-17. As the Red Dogs have reeled off 14 unanswered points. The defense coming alive. The offense responding. Christy Michael in the game. Left tackle right to Michael. Defense calls pass. Gets 7 units of short gain here. 2-yard gain. See, the wrong column is fine. I know 6 is no yards. But it's not a bad wrong column for a backup running back. And it's not so good that people are usually going to call run. But Jeff likes to call run. Now, Dennis probably feels a little out of rhythm offensively, with Jeff calling correctly. Off tackle right to Michael again. 7 units to short gain. 8 is 6 yards. Those excellent run cards rearing their head right there. The 4-3 excellent cards, no less. And it's a 3rd down and 2. Michael, he carries 50 yards. Got it going late in that first half to set up a 60-yard field goal attempt, which was no good, despite the positive variable. 3rd and 2, Michael in there again. I think this time you'll see a flat pass. Maybe look and throw it to one of the 6s because it won't be flooded. Should still get you 3 yards.
I agree. I think it's a flat here. But what will he go for if he
short pass Julio Jones, 3 men there, 6 coverage, must run for Derek Carr, 4 yards in the first down. Not a bad must run column for a quarterback who you don't think of as a running quarterback. 2 to 9, 4 yards or more. That aids that short pass, long pass column. That's 1st and 10. I don't know, Dave, if he would have gone for it or not there. I think he would have punted. I think he would feel like his defense is due for a stop. But maybe not. But Dennis, if he's going to lose, he's going to lose playing aggressively. So maybe he would have gone for it.
Baker, go home. That's what Dennis says.
There's a flat pass right to Austin Safarian Jenkins. 10 is incomplete, right and wrong on Derek Carr. And we now have a 2nd down and 10. So Michael in this try, Spencer Ware being preserved. Off to the right to Michael, guessed correctly by Jeff on 2nd and 10. Blocking back 0 or -2. Loss of 2, even if Jeff had guessed incorrectly. And now it's a 3rd and 12.
Later this afternoon, is that okay?
The excellent defensive cards starting to come into play here. Dennis messaging me before the game saying he will have his work cut out for him. against these excellent cards. Working in the first half, but this third quarter has been a different story. Big 3rd and 12 here for Seattle at their own 35. They lead 22-17. They led 22-3 at the half.
This is huge, and I think Jeff should go conservative here and not go crazy and see if he just rely on his defense like you're suggesting, Tom.
Yeah, you could do it. I would never put it past Dennis to do a draw here, but you might want to double team Swoop or Spencer Ware. Otherwise, leave 4 men in short pass. The dump off makes it hard. Short pass Spencer Ware, single cover, not even mean covered at all. Defender X would be a first down, and there's 11-yard completion.
Oh,
setting up 4th and 1 for Dennis at his own 46. You can bet he's probably going to go for it here. I think, Dave. Don't you think so?
Goes for it here,
and looks like he's going to punt it.
Only a handful.
No, he's going to punt it. He's going to punt it. Let his defense take over.
Very interesting.
And that punt looks like it's going to sail into the end zone for a touchback. But I think a good call by Dennis there because he's thinking, okay, this guy needs a touchdown to take the lead. I know I can play well with my defense. They've had a rough quarter, but I think I can stop this guy. Let me not make it too easy to give him the lead here late in the third quarter of the Super Bowl. Let me make him earn it with a touchdown. Long pass, Antonio Brown. Defender X to plus 27, covered by a 5, incomplete. Bryce McCain makes the play.
I think that's the philosophy that Dennis has, just what you articulated, Tom.
Now he's showing 3-4 blitz. Now he'll still play aggressively here, but at least not give him the short field. He's going to try and make him earn the touchdown. He's got the right end 0 coming in. Off tackle left to Ingram. Could have been a draw play, but it wasn't. Gains 5 yards. You got to watch. Ingram has got the huge numbers in 2 and 12. 2 plus 75, 12 long gain off tackle. Did it use those to great effect in Salifa. And we'll watch to see if Ingram can pop one of those numbers. Only has 11 carries so far, so he has plenty of carries remaining, unfatigued. And now Jeff facing a big 3rd and 5 from his own 25. He's done well in these spots this quarter.
We're almost through with the third quarter now. It's getting close.
Dennis is not showing blitz here. Flat pass right to Antonio Brown, throwing at the 0. White die 6. Box cause 30-yard gain. Antonio Brown, the white die 6. Dennis was kind of trying to bait Jeff that time. Dennis scored in the right end 0, blitzed that linebacker where the safety had to cover the zone, but Jeff went the other way. Did not run in the end run to 0, threw a flat pass to the other 0, and was rewarded with the white die 6. Not just for first down yardage, but for 30 yards and across midfield. Emmer right, Mark Ingram. Emmer to the right side. Defensive end -2 or +3, 3-yard gain. So finally those defensive zeros hurting Dennis a little bit in this possession, but they've done far more good with all the pass rush they've had today and during the season. We're closing in on the end of the third quarter here. 18 seconds left. Jeff trails 22-17. There's an off-tackle draw to Ingram. Gains 3 yards. That column can be slightly chunky. 8 plus 3, 9 plus 1, 11 plus 2. But it's got short gains and stuff. It's not really chunky, but it's got 5, 9, and 19 units of 3 yards or less. Guess wrong.
Okay, how aggressive does Jeff get here? What do you think, Tom? Does he run it or go up top?
I think it's a good sign to say I don't really know what Jeff's going to do here. Since to be mixing up the play calling well. I was going to say I wouldn't be surprised at a bomb. But now Dennis is going nickel 3-3-5, probably trying to bait Jeff into a run call.
That is interesting. 3-3-5.
Maybe a short pass Matt Forte. The dump off is your friend. He's got good run blocking. Emma right to Forte. Running at the 0. Gets a 9 short gain on Forte's card. Not a great end run card, so Dennis is probably upset with that. And 13 yards at a first down for the veteran Forte, who just retired recently, Dave. Yeah. So next year's card will be his last one. Had an excellent career, of course. And Jeff is at the Seattle 26. Then it's punted to make him go the length of the field, and Jeff's trying to do it. There's an off-tackle draw to Ingram gets left. No linebackers there. Offensive onside guard, 7-2. Levitre could not make the block. He's a 5. The white guy's 6. You see this entire line is 5s, except for the left tackle 6 and the tight end 6, and the right tackle 4. So good run blocking here. And Jeff's been going to the run a little more often on this drive. Ingram only 14 carries so far for 49 yards. We can still run it with him in this fourth quarter. Linebacker draw to Ingram with all kinds of boxes in play, but nose tackle +1 or 12 yards. Danny Shelton, the 5, makes a play. 3rd and 7. That time Dennis showed blitz and brought the house. 3rd and 7. Obviously, Jeff will try the field goal if he has to. Nothing wrong with 22-20. Not as good as 24-22, though.
Correct.
Now, Jeff's been calling it good here. This drive, this quarter. That his team to have his number in the first half, not so much here. The huge 3rd and 7 here. Early in this Uber Bowl. Dennis not showing blitz this time. The flat pass is a possibility. The end run at that 0 is a possibility. Just been hurting a little bit with the flats here. Dennis is aware that Dennis is going to flood a flat. Flat pass right. Lenny Walker being double teamed. True double team. Dennis went for the double over the flood. And Will Lutz will be on for a field goal attempt. I think this is 2-10. He's got a very good card, the rookie kicker. It's up and good. And just like that, it was 2-10. There was no variable. It's a 22-20 game. 12:36 to go. Now, Dennis just gave up 17 unanswered points. But he has to feel a little bit, believe it or not, Dave, like he weathered the storm because he still has the lead and the ball. 12:36 to go, and now he knows he can do something. Dennis's experience, I think, giving him a little confidence right now after preventing Jeff from a touchdown on that last possession.
I agree. I think he's still in the driver's seat here with the ball, with the lead.
Long pass Sammy Watkins. No man there. Guessed correctly, though, against these excellent cards. Dump off in play. 4 is incomplete for Derek Carr. Dennis indeed going bigger, going home. That time it was more like go big or kind of stand around and wait for second down. Anticlimactic.
Yes.
Christine Michael's still in there. Dennis preserving those wear carries for perhaps a needed drive later in the quarter. Off tackle right to Michael's a linebacker there. Short gain on Snake Eyes for 16 yards. Michael having a good game. 10 carries, 64 yards. Just missed that 3 plus 41.
I was going to call the run there, but I was late. I did think Dennis would go run 2nd 10.
Yeah, well, I do tend to monopolize at times, David, not perhaps give the opportunity for interjection like I could.
It's okay.
1st and 10 for Seattle at their own 41. Of course, these games get played fast and furious. There's your tackle right to Michael again. There's a 7, short gain. Christine Michael getting the job done here for Mr. Crowley in the fourth quarter and at the end of the second quarter. 11 carries, 80 yards. As Dennis crosses midfield, it's time to go back to Spencer Ware.
And this is, of course, a huge drive again now for Jeff. He's got to somehow hold them here.
And we're left Spencer Ware gets wrong. Blocking back +4, -2. But that 2 tight end formation, no blocking back. -2. You know, when you play against those excellent cards, you really do miss that blocking back. Because you're not just getting like no gain. Now you're losing yardage. Second, one of the before was blocking back 0 -5 in the linebacker zone. 2nd 12, Emmerich right to Spencer Ware. Guessed incorrectly the dreaded 5. Rears its ugly head. No gain on the Emmerich wrong. I mean, that was 24 units of 7 yards or more on 2nd and 12.
Okay, now when you have 12 yards to pick up on 3rd down and you got the ratings that Jeff has, you got to let your defense do its job and not leave somebody open here.
He should have gone nickel 3-3-5. Dared Dennis top play. Decided to stay home with a 4-3. Think he'll put the safety in short pass and stay home. Dump off is a factor.
That's interesting. I think he is aware of what Dennis might call.
Emmer left fence aware. Offensive onside end again. Some weak blocking on the outside. Only a 3-yard gain, so Dennis left to punt it. He's held one first down short of field goal range. And it's going to be an out-of-bounds punt. And Jeff will have a chance to take the lead. Not a great out-of-bounds punt. Down to the 20-yard, no, the 17-yard line. But a fair catch, so he got inside the 20 at least. You'd like to do better than that from the 42. But now it's 22-20 Dennis.
Well,
Jeff's got the ball.
Super Bowl in your hands.
9 minutes to go against an average defense, but coached by the great Dennis Crowley with all kinds of pass rush. But Jeff seems to have figured out this defense a little bit in the second half. But like Nathan and Dennis will tell you, one sack will change everything.
Yeah, right. The rating's average, but the coaching is excellent.
That's a good point, Dave. Flat pass left to Delaney Walker, single coverage. Defender -3 or -1. Sean Davis, the rookie safety 4, makes the play -3. I hate getting that roll. It's like, even if the guy misses it, I lose yardage.
Yeah.
You know? But hey, at least it nerfs the flat pass.
You're a whiner, Tom. Let's face it.
You know, I'm not sure if I will agree with that characterization. So complain, yes. Whine, no. A little different. Second 13, 8:24 to go. New Jersey from their own 14. Dennis showing blitz now.
He's got all his blitzers in there.
Will he bring it? Yep. Will he bring it when each man has been beaten by a sniper scope already? Short pass down to Robinson, gets wrong. Receiver, not 8-9 for 15 yards and a big first down.
Wow.
Receiver on an 8, not on a 10. And Jeff's up at his own 29. Field goal to take the lead. But boy, you'd really like to get that touchdown. Too easy, felt like, for Dennis to come down and kick a field goal to reclaim the lead.
Well, if he makes it a real ball control drive, he could eat up a lot of that clock. And if he could punch in a score, he could leave Dennis with 2 minutes or less to go.
Short pass to Laney Walker. Receiver gets right, 12 yards. Another first down. Will Russell Wilson do to Dennis what Russell Wilson has done for Dennis so many times? Russell had a cold first half, now 18 of 29, 220, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. This league plays with the dump off, Dave. Otherwise, the stats would be a lot worse. Flat pass right to Delaney Walker. Wide die 6, 9 yards. Dennis was blitzing at a 0 on a 2 with the flat pass potential sack, 1-23, but the random was a 96. And 6:36 to go, as you mentioned, Dave. A potential lengthy drive here with Jeff now at the 50. But Jeff's got to worry 4 balls just about getting yards and moving the ball. Flat pass to Zach Miller, no men, 13 yards. Dennis gets past, blitzed everyone, and Jeff's been hitting with a flat pass this drive. And the whole second half, the flat pass has been working for New Jersey, and they now have 6 minutes on the clock. The ball at the Seattle 37. Looking past to Ingram. Dennis stays home this time, but still complete for 7 yards. You know, Dave, those flat pass right against a non-6 linebacker with a decent quarterback, usually a pretty good play for the offense.
Yes, it can be, and it's being used now to great advantage by Jeff.
And you're seeing Jeff the second half challenging the defense with flat passing, short passing, and running the ball. That's been attacking each of those levels.
I'd worry about
it very nicely.
If I were Jeff, I wouldn't want to lose yardage at this point of the field.
It's true. Left tackle left to Ingram. Defense calls pass. Ingram's card. 7 is a 6-yard gain.
I think Jeff was thinking
First
along
and
with
10.
me there.
Now he's at the Seattle 24, and we have 4:48 to go, and you have the 2-minute warning. So he's probably not going to be able to get down inside of 2 minutes. So Dennis will have time, but only one possession probably
to reclaim the lead if Jeff scores. But the big question now was going to be a field goal or a touchdown. Linebacker draw to Ingram. Nose tackle +1 or +12. Danny Shelton doing a nice job again.
Boy, that nose tackle has helped out the Seahawks.
Yeah, Dennis had brought his right inside linebacker or his safety up into linebacker, and that was a draw. So the 8 double box was in play. I've only seen one box today. Christian Michael hit it. Usually you see a couple more.
Right.
Particularly against these 4-3 defense. Long pass to Lenny Walker with the free safety blitz on, and there's a big sack.
Oh, I know about that call by Jeff. Oh, my.
Now, Jeff.
I know he was
down to 23. Dennis showing blitz has already sacked him many times today. And Dave, by throwing the long pass, he was challenging the blitz, but you lose more yardage on a long pass sack.
Oh, yeah.
So we lost 11 yards. If that had only been a short pass, and if it had still been a sack, which it would have been, he'd be at the 32 and not the 34.
That's huge. That's a big play.
Absolutely. And now Jeff's got to figure out what to do here. And you could see him thinking virtually.
Yes.
20. See, now he goes with the regular offense. Everyone and their brother knows that Jeff needs only 2 yards to get into better field goal range. Ideally, with the negative variable from the Strat, you want to get 4 or 5 yards. Dennis nickel 3-3-5 blitz. I would not put it past Dennis to call run if he thinks that Jeff's going to run it. Trying to get the 4 or 5. Maybe Jeff should go
short pass to Hopkins here if I were Jeff Smith.
I would throw a looking pass to Ingram. I would throw some type of flat pass to Ingram, trying to get my 4 or 5 yards that way. He's covered by a 0. He's not going to be double teamed. Dennis might blitz. You might get no men there. Dennis might call run. I don't want to, but Dennis might also sell it for the blitz. So I don't want to throw a short pass and that's it. My field goal's totally gone. Plus Lutz, I think, is 2-6 out here on his own. So even if I get nothing on a looking pass, I can technically try a field goal to try to reclaim the lead. Flat pass right Antonio Brown, nobody there. Then it's called run key, 10-yard completion, not a first down, but regained the good field goal position. And that would have probably been a sack if he had thrown downfield. It was a deal. Oh, no, it wouldn't have been because then it's called run. What am I talking about?
Oh,
the field goal was 2-10.
Just tumble it over the crossbar.
Yeah, 2-10 field goal, good on a 10. Jeff regains the lead 23-22. We've got 3 minutes to go. Dennis has been shut out in the second half. And so me for 28, where I'm Genesis general manager, we lost to the players. We got shut out in the second half. Or scored only 3 points or something. And Dennis said he did not expect that. So let's see what happens here. Dennis has been living with Spencer Ware. Emma right to Spencer Ware. Defense calls pass. Offensive onside end +9 or +3. It's an 8-yard gain as Eric Swoop makes the block 4-4. Dennis needed that 2nd and 2. Gets out of bounds 2 on a 2-4-6. What I was going to say, Dave, is Dennis has lived with Spencer Ware all year. It's had a great year. He's got carries. He's got time. He knows he's got that 11 plus 45 in the off tackle. They're going to see a fair amount of Spencer Ware here, especially since he only needs a field goal.
I totally agree with you.
And some flat passing.
Yep.
Linebacker Spencer Ware, defense calls pass. Offensive right guard +6 or +1. Alan Barber is a 5, makes the block. Dennis is up at his own 39. And we know that Jason Myers, 2-7 and 12, out to the 39. So really, Dave, Dennis is only 22 yards away from reasonable field goal range. You'd like to crack the 32 and get the better range. You'd like to get down to the 27 and then take away the negative variable. He's got 2:06 to go and 3 timeouts.
2 first downs or 1 big play.
Yep. Maybe a flat pass here after he's run it twice. He knows Jeff was calling run earlier in the game.
He throws. I think he'll throw a look in if he throws it.
Short pass, Julio Jones, full in there. Julio is hot early. Dump off in play. 9 is incomplete in Derek Carr's card. 2nd down and 10. But nothing wrong with that. You don't want to be
to Jones, and he's in good field goal position.
You don't want to be too obvious. So Dennis, knowing that Jeff was calling run early, we know Spencer Ware is a good card. He got the first couple runs. Short pass, Julio Jones gets wrong. Receiver now would be huge. Defender extra short gain against the 6.
Oh, my.
AJ Booyah. Making the stop. Now Dennis is 3rd and 10. And people who have played Dennis a lot knows he likes to go to a draw play here with a good running back by Ware, especially with the center 6. But he's facing a
looking pass to Ware.
I don't think he'll go looking because I think he knows that middle linebacker is going to stay home. A 4-3 defense. Dennis will not do a draw play here. He's going to throw a short pass or a flat pass right. I think he'll see a short pass, maybe to Watkins, who won't be double teamed. Maybe to Swoop, who's covered only by 5. Short pass, Julio Jones, Foreman in zone. You need something on Derek Carr's code here. There it is. 7's complete. 11 yards and a first down.
Absolutely.
From the young quarterback
Mental play.
To the now veteran wide receiver, Julio Jones. 1st and 10 for Seattle, who lets the clock run there, it looks like. Interesting call. Maybe he wants to keep, well, he could have gone hurry up, and you still would have had him stuck in this defense. So it's a 4-3 defense. Excellent, excellent. Dennis has hit some big, long passes in spots like this.
Yeah, he's not afraid to go up top here.
Especially in that autumn win semifinal.
He doesn't often rely on just the obvious field goal. Yeah, he won one of his playoff games here by going for it, a pass.
Linebacker Spencer Ware gets wrong. 8 is 5 yards on the defense. If he goes up top, it might be Watkins because he knows that Jeff is unlikely to double team Watkins. The double teams have been towards Julio. Maybe Spencer Ware.
Take a timeout there because he wants to score here and leave Jeff no time on the clock.
Yeah, but he did go hurry up because there is only 107, so that makes sense. But he is balancing those competing interests. And Ware only has 16 carries so far. I think he's got at least 5 unfatigued left, at least, and possibly more. 2nd down and 5, 107 to go.
Be a run.
Then it still has work to do. Linebacker Spencer Ware again. Behind that center 6. 5 yards in the first down. He's down at the 40. Again, Jason Myers, 2 to 7 and 12 from the 39. 2 to 9 and 12 from the next level in. Then it's wants to get down to about the 27.
Call the timeout again. That's interesting.
Well, plus he can save it for running plays now.
Oh, yeah.
Might see another linebacker.
Yeah, he's got a full portfolio of plays to use at this juncture.
The flat pass to the 5 linebacker has been open, but he doesn't want to lose 3 or 4 yards, which can happen sometimes.
Jeff, the gambles and guesses run here?
I think he'll call pass one more time. Linebacker Spencer Ware. Defense guesses incorrectly. Offensive center +3 or 0. Travis Frederick makes the block. He's a 6 every year. And now the Seahawks call their first timeout. 2nd and 7 at the New Jersey 37.
We're going to come down to a field goal attempt here, it looks like.
Unless we get a crazy roll.
Yeah.
Both coaches have a tough time here figuring out exactly what to call.
Yeah. This is a tough either way. Yeah.
Dennis doesn't want to lose yardage, doesn't want to be too obvious, wants to gain at least 5 yards, preferably get the first down, get away from that variable, even though it's only 2 to 7 and 12 on the negative variable.
I would gamble and call run here if I was Jeff. I think I would just gamble.
I think you're right. Maybe even a run key on the linebacker zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
it is obviously a gamble because if Dennis would pass, it could be ball game on a long gain on a short pass to Jones or something.
Or even a first down, just a
really
well, if that go right to where he gets run correctly.
Run. That was my a good roll.
But gives up 6 yards on the defense's card. No linebackers there.
That's tough with such a good call.
3rd and 1 for Dennis here. He might go hurry up. Michael timeout is trying to figure out the best way to use.
I think I'll bring it down to 15 seconds, won't it? No, it's 30 seconds. He called timeout.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the right play was there. It's kind of negative to both options. 3rd and 1 at the New Jersey 31.
I know Jeff made the right call there, but now you got to worry about Dennis going with the pass because he still has a pretty good field goal odds right here.
Knowing Dennis,
I think Dennis goes to Julio Jones here.
Well, he's in the full house formation.
I say so a short pass to Julio Jones by Dennis.
I don't think he'll do that because he doesn't want to hit the 4-man interception on the excellent. He might possibly go for a look in if he thinks Jeff is a short yardage type of coach. And Dennis knows these things, having played these guys so many years in so many leagues.
A look in or a flat though at this point. 2 men in zone.
It won't be a flat. The only way he throws a pass is if he thinks that this guy goes short yardage. Linebacker Robert Turbin, defense calls run, right guard +5 or +1. From the full house, he's a 6, and you did every bit of it. And now you have the first down for Dennis. He's probably going to let the time run down to 1 second, maybe not. Maybe Myers is 2 to 10 for the 22 and in. I don't know. He could spike the ball here. 15 seconds left, 2nd and 10, and still possibly get 2 plays to get at least 4 yards and get closer. He could try that.
I would have made because I was wrong.
Or he might try the field goal here, 2 to 9 and 12.
But Jeff's had no
spikes the ball.
No breaks on the rolls.
Dennis spikes the ball. Now let's see if Dennis runs another play or two to try to crack the 22. If Myers is better than 2 to 9 and 12 from inside the 22, I don't know that he is. Myers is actually 2 to 9 and 12, both from the 13 to 22, and out here 23 to 32. So there's really not a benefit to Dennis doing this. He probably should have called timeout at 1 second, or the time run to 1 second, and then tried the field goal. But he's going to run plays anyway. You're risking a snap fumble or a fumble for the running back. 2nd down and 10.
Now I wonder if Dennis would go to the short pass to Jones.
There's no chance. There's no chance he's throwing a short pass with the interception on that down and the excellent.
Yeah, that's true. On the excellent card, it's a.
Well, just knowing Dennis's mentality, and he saw me lose a me for playoff game that way. He's not going to do it. Off tackle right to Robert Turbin. It was sort of an infamous losing of a semi for playoff game. Well, I think I had like a 2nd and 4, like 45 seconds left. Like my own 9 in the lead, and I threw a short pass, got picked off with the defensive 9. Dennis isn't going to do that. Off tackle right to Turbin. And Dennis calls timeout here. And this is it to win the Super Bowl. 2 to 9 and 12. Because it'll be onside kick if he makes it. 2 to 9 and 12 to win the Super Bowl. The Ooper Bowl, excuse me. In thawing tundra. Jason Myers, 38-yard attempt.
Chip shot.
Laces out.
You better make a good snap.
I think he's going to miss it. No, it's up and good. Jason Myers, 38-yard field goal.
Another ho-hum Seahawks victory.
Dennis gets another championship, finally gets on the board in the second half. He was up 22-3. The Jersey Rebels with a tremendous comeback, 20 unanswered points, reclaimed the lead, but Dennis came back running the ball with Spencer Ware mostly, and drove about, 50 yards or so, 54 yards, I think, in the last 2.5 minutes, set up the field goal, and the Frozen Tundra Championship.
Very impressive by Dennis Crowley. What a run. I don't remember anything like this to come up with records like he's had and championships back to back to back. Just incredible. Jeff Smith did a great job of coming back, and the 3 points in the second half that Dennis needed, he got on the last play of the game.
Yeah, and a game like this, it's hard to. Dennis, he was not looking forward to my call after the first half. Oh, really? I'm going to keep that in mind next time I call one of Dennis's games. But it's a game like this, so close, so good back and forth. It's hard to say one play here or there is what did it or didn't do it. But Dave, do me a favor. Email Dennis the Hangout link if you can.
Okay. How do I?
I
think he'll join us just normally. He did that when Michael and I were doing the game. I think he can somehow get in. I don't know.
He just asked me if we have time for him to come on. I'm just saying it'll be faster if you just Slack it to him or email it to him. All right, I'll tell him. Hold on.
Let's see if I have the.
Wake up. Spell it off. Yes, period. Link on the forum. Press enter key. Go to sleep. It is amazing the success that he has. It's really amazing.
Okay, so tell Dennis I just emailed him the link.
Well, that would defeat the purpose of you emailing him the link, because the idea was that I wouldn't have to communicate with him.
Oh,
because it would be faster if you did. But I Slacked him and told him that the link is on the forum, and I told him to come on.
Yeah, I just emailed it to him.
25-23, 386 yards of offense for Seattle.
Yeah, it was very impressive that Jeff was able to be, able to come back like he did in the second half and make this a game, because it certainly looked like Dennis had his foot on his neck, but those first two scores of the second, third quarter were just very
impressive. It was the sniper scope. Sniper scope short pass 50-yarder, I think, that jump-started Jeff early in that third quarter. But Dennis's team is only average, and the league plays dump off, and he has a great pass rush. So he was using the pass rush and playing with it, and it was working very well for him. So you can understand why he would do that. I told him the link is on the forum.
And I just Slacked him that I emailed it to him, so see what happens.
Indeed. Now, of course, it is a weekday. Dennis probably at the workplace.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I've been down in his IT dungeon there where he's at. So it's a kind of secluded place.
I see. Oh, you're a Southern California guy too, Dave.
Yes, I am.
All the leaves are brown.
And
the skies are gray.
Eats your heart out, Tom.
California dreaming.
Yep.
I think I'm off key.
Wow, we get full entertainment value from Tom Cook.
Well, I did try to sing the first line of the Canadian national anthem.
I think we got Dennis on board here.
Hey guys.
Congratulations.
Dennis.
Man, that's about as good of a championship game as you can ask for.
Yeah, you try to make it good for us. Thanks, Dennis. We appreciate that.
Yeah, that was not intentional on my part to let him come back, but my goodness.
So you were not looking forward to my call after the first half, huh?
No, Jeff said that. Remember, Jeff is Hawks. I'm Dennis.
Oh,
yeah.
That's unfortunate. I was looking forward to using that in future broadcasts for the next 5 years.
No, I enjoy listening to it. Win or lose, I'll go back and watch it because you can always learn something. There was a couple calls in the second half that I really opened myself up for that comeback. But I played that way the whole year with aggressive blitzing, and you're bound to get sniper scoped at some point if you're not careful. So
you're only average. Right?
Good average. Good against the run, average against the pass.
Okay. Oh, Dave said it was average. Okay.
I said it was average. I lied.
Well, never mind.
Now make it that much better of a coach, Dennis.
Now I got to go back and redo the whole broadcast.
Let's start it over again. My goodness.
So, all right, but you're only average against the pass.
Yep.
and you've got a great pass rush, and the league plays dump off, which I was glad to see. So it makes sense for you to be aggressive with the pass rush, and that's how you did it all year. And you were you were 15-1. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. I almost went 16-0 in this one, but Dave Will, in the last game of the season, beat me like 19-17. He did a good job, throwing to the flats when I was blitzing like crazy. A lot of people will abandon that and try to go up top or go short, and that just plays right into my strengths with Marcus Golden and Daniel Hunter.
Yeah, and then you have Yannick Ngakoue coming off the side,
right?
And I know Bernard McKinney is an 8 blitzer, which is not too bad for a second linebacker.
And D Ford's a 12. Although oftentimes I'm afraid to bring him because I don't want his 1 asterisk to take away from the free safety 10 or Marcus Golden's 6. So
okay, yeah. There's a bit of it's a bit annoying sometimes when you have multiple asterisks, and that can happen. I'm in a similar situation with my SSFA team. Maybe Strat needs to put in some kind of rule for that for draft leagues. Now, is this your first? Well, probably not. So, how many championships have you won in thawing Tundra, Dennis?
This is the first one. I had not won in Frozen Tundra. Remember that year where you had a meltdown in SSFA with Peyton Manning?
Yes.
I had a championship caliber team that year. Also,
do you mean in the Super Bowl?
Yes.
Or do you mean? Okay, good.
Yeah. So you threw 3 or 4 interceptions, right? If I remember right.
No, maybe.
Oh no, it might have been. It might have been the year before when you got eliminated, in the second round.
Divisional round. I lost to John Madden. Yeah, I threw a bunch of picks in that game. Yeah.
Well, you love reminding Tom of his failures, don't you, Dennis?
No, nothing to do with that. But that
right.
same card set with that same card and a really strong running game, I made it to the Super Bowl. I faced Todd Hopkins, and Peyton Manning threw 7 interceptions in that game, and I still.
Oh my God!
I was at the 25-yard line with a chance to win the game, and he threw his 7th interception. So,
well, Dennis, I told you I had Peyton Manning, good Peyton Manning cards, 2 years with that team in the playoffs. I played 4 playoff games with him, and in the combined 4 games, he threw 2 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, playing with the dump off. And playing with the dump off with a great rushing attack and like a really good all around team and facing average defense. It's not even any double counting, and I told you that Strat knew that Peyton Manning doesn't do well in the playoffs. And so you got Peyton Manning in the playoffs. He's not going to do well. There it goes.
Yeah, that's it. It must be some little small snippet of code that says Peyton Manning playoffs.
I swear when I would throw bombs to Larry Fitzgerald, this is something else that I think happens. I feel like this is totally like conspiracy tinfoil hat stuff, but I feel like when you when you get like a long gain on like a big name receiver, they tend to go for like the 60-70 yard bombs more than like a no name guy. Like if I get a long gain with Julio, if I'm at my 30, I'm on my own 35, and I get a long gain to Julio Jones, he's got a much better chance, it feels like, of going 65 yards than some other guy who's like, like Albert Wilson, who like has a dot. Right. I don't know why, but it just feels like that happens a lot more often to me. I could be totally crazy because Larry Fitzgerald for like almost his whole career.
Sounds like you're a believer in the grassy knoll, Tom.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you know how to cut on the grassy knoll, you can get big yardage going down the field. But Larry Fitzgerald just seemed to get like these like really long gains, way more so than like, my other like more ordinary named receiver who might have also had a good card and might have had a dot, but he wasn't, on his way to the Hall of Fame like Larry Fitzgerald. So tinfoil hat, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I can't buy into that myself because then that would take away some of the things I've done in this game, which I think should be totally legit. So I'm gonna stay away from those conspiracy stuff.
Statistical analysis here.
Wait a minute, are you saying that you have been intentionally trying to get big name great receivers so that they could get better long gains to help you win the game? Is that what you're telling us?
No,
is that why Julio Jones?
Nothing to do with that, but just the fact that I've been able to have some pretty good comebacks myself, regardless of the cards of the players. A lot of guys think, going along with the tinfoil hat conspiracy, that it's really easy to get that last game-winning touchdown drive, or it's really easy to make a comeback when you're down big. Like there's some kind of like in Super Mario Kart where they let the guys there's like a dampener on the guy in first place. I don't believe that. So I don't have any experience with Super Mario Kart.
I do not believe that the game makes it easier to come back, to enhance the excitement, because I've had too many games where I've throttled the other guy or been throttled with no comeback in sight for either one of us.
Exactly.
I think it depends on the rules.
And I've seen plenty of Larry Fitzgerald and Julio Jones completions that hit a long gain and go for 30 yards too. So that's
I suspect that the statistical analysis would not bear that out, Dennis. But we'll have to just go with my tinfoil hat theory now on that. But now, of course,
Dennis, were you anticipating Jeff throw that deep ball? Was that something you were protecting against, or did that come out of nowhere where you sacked him on that bomb he threw?
I was looking to try to get a sack fumble. I didn't care what kind of pass he threw, but I knew my only chance to hold on to that lead. His kicker's Will Lutz. I mean, the only way I was going to hold on to the lead was to either push him back to the deeper range or get a sack fumble. So I wasn't necessarily looking for the bomb on that one, but I wanted to bring the heat. So
were you surprised that he threw the bomb there when you showed blitz, when you already have a great pass rush matchup, when you're looking to use it aggressively, and where a sack is the only thing? He was at like the 23 that could potentially push him back at a field goal range, especially when you throw a long pass and get sacked, you lose more yardage.
Yeah, and not necessarily, because he was at the 23 and you need a really big sack. Yeah, you're right. That does open up the chances, but he was throwing to a 4 receiver against an average pass defense and knowing that I was going to be abandoning the zone. So if he got a 1X or if he got the pass block, he has a 7 on the line. If he would have been able to do that, then it would have been a touchdown, and he would have had not just the lead, but he would have had the lead and would have forced me to score a touchdown on that last drive. And scoring a touchdown against excellent pass defense, it's really tough. Not to take away from that side of the conversation, but I was really expecting to throw a pick there on that last drive, just because, I had avoided it all day, and luckily I was able to avoid it all the way. But that was
well, you know what you have to do to throw a pick, right, Dennis?
What's that?
Well, you got to pass the ball. You're running it with Spencer Ware. It's impossible to throw a pick when you're running it. You threw hardly any passes on the last drive. It was overwhelmingly. Dave kept saying, "I think he's going to throw a short pass." I said, "No, he's going to run it." I said, Spencer Ware was good all year for him. He knows that Jeff's going to call a pass. He's going to run it, and you overwhelmingly ran it.
Yeah, I had that
1 or 2 passes.
I had that section
because you were scared of the interception there, and because Ware is an excellent card.
And because he was calling pass a lot. But I did throw 3 passes, I think, or 2 or 3 passes in a row to Julio Jones. One of them was on 2nd and 10. If I wouldn't have connected on that one, and it would have been 3rd and long, or maybe that was on 3rd and 10. I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was either on 2nd and 10 or 3rd and 10.
I believe you threw a 2nd and 10 short pass wrong to Julio that got defender X incomplete on that drive.
And then I went right back.
You went back to him on 3rd and 10 with 4 men, and you hit the completion in Derek Carr's card, I think, on a 7 for 11 yards and a first down.
Yeah, and if I would have been, let's just say I'm going to do like I normally do an end run, get a short gain, and then try to go for it on 4th down. That would have been contained because all of his linebackers are 6 against the run. So I would have ran a short gain to the end run. It would have been 4th and 2 or 4th and 3 or 4th and 1. And that's tough to pick up against excellent pass defense with all those 6s. So that was probably the key point of the game, at least the key point of that drive.
It seemed to me, Dennis, like in the first quarter, the first half, really, but especially your first 2 possessions, you were just doing whatever you wanted, and he was guessing wrong. He guessed a lot of run. I felt like he guessed too much run in the first half, and you were throwing flat pass wrongs all over the place, flat pass against uncovered guys. And what's interesting is as the second half started, David and I were discussing what Jeff needed to do. And I said, stand around a little bit. I said, call less run, stop leaving the flat pass zones vacant. And indeed, that's what he stopped doing. I was wondering if he was listening to me, but I guess not. He started leaving the linebackers home. He still called run some, but it wasn't like bringing all the linebackers up and giving you flat pass wrong no man. And it seemed that that was much more effective for him. and it was really a completely different half in terms of what your offense was facing from Jeff's play calling and how successful your offense was first half compared to the second half.
Yeah, I would agree with that. He made some good adjustments. And I shot myself in the foot a couple of times. Like I went away from the blitz on that 1 3rd and 10, where if I would have been blitzing, it was a D on the dice. So I would have had a decent chance at a sack. And that's when he got the sniper scope. That sniper scope on 3rd and 10, you could kind of see him come to life after that. I mean, if he would have gotten sacked or been forced to punt, it would have been like, oh, more of the same stuff in the second half. But he got that spark of life, and that third quarter was all his. I couldn't do anything. I was trying to make sure I had enough Spencer Ware carries at the end and try to mix in Christine Michael. But man, like I said, you can't really complain. That was a great game, but on both sides. And it's funny that it almost came down to a kick where I missed that extra point early. Then I was chasing it, and then Jason Myers there at the end redeemed himself with the game-winning field goal.
That's right. That's right. You know what I was thinking about then on that 38-yard field goal attempt. I was thinking Ray Finkel laces out. Don't do it, Jason.
Yeah, man, so
Ace
close.
Ventura. But Jeff, I thought also offensively then did a very nice job in the second half, going flat pass and run the ball to kind of prevent you from besieging his offense with all that blitzing.
Yeah.
And he did a very good job of that in the third quarter, and it was going his way. And I thought by the middle of the third quarter, you were maybe starting to feel a little out of rhythm on defense as he was starting to hit you with flat passes, mixing enough runs, throwing the occasional short pass. But he kind of got you to call off the dogs a little bit. I mean, you're still coming after him, but the first half, it seemed like you would show blitz everybody. He would throw anyway, and it wasn't working for him.
Yep.
And then in the second half, he changed that strategy, and then it made it much harder for you, I think, to call defense against him. What do you think?
No, I agree with that. I think they also that's the way Dave Will beat me. The one game I lost this year was he really pounded the flats and ran. Although I thought maybe Jeff could have ran a little bit more. I was worried about Mark Ingram hitting one of those gigantic runs and shifting the game in one play. So he did flat pass a lot. How many runs did it scroll out? How many runs did Ingram have? 17, 16?
I think 19. Hold on.
Yeah, he didn't get 4 yards of carry, I don't think.
Yeah, that's not enough. He should have ran him a little bit more, although he did a great job with the draws. A couple times he caught me with the guys coming on blitz, and he'd run a draw and get 0 minute zone, or it would be on his card.
Yeah, we didn't get the both of you guys had some draw opportunities. We didn't get the box on the 8 as often as you tend to see. I think you hit one with Christine Michael late in the first half, but otherwise, both of you had some double box opportunities that did not come to fruition.
Yeah, and Danny Shelton. I mean, how many times did you see the nose tackle +1 or +12? And he came through every time.
Two big plays that Shelton made were huge.
Yeah, that was awesome. So
now this is a young team, Dennis.
It sure is. Yeah.
Correct? So why don't you talk about where this team came from? Your first. Now, Dennis, this is the thawing tundra. It's March 16th. I don't see the frozen turf outside. Hold on. Let me open the window and look.
Wasn't there just a nor'easter on the in New York a couple weeks ago?
That was a couple weeks ago. Now it's the day after the Ides of March.
Dennis, we've got down in the 60s and even the 50s once or twice, haven't we?
I know, unusual for California, but we'll take it.
Today, I think the high is 36 over here, but okay.
Yeah,
but
frozen.
It's sunny.
Yeah, so the genesis of this team was after that Peyton Manning fiasco. The team was getting old. I decided to sell off pieces and got a lot of early draft picks. Got rid of a bunch of veterans, and this is the second year of the rebuild. And I really wasn't expecting to compete this year. I mean, I shouldn't say wasn't expecting to compete for the title. I was definitely expecting to be a playoff team because last year, in my first year of the rebuild, even with a poor pass defense, I wound up going 8-8. So I knew that if I had Spencer Ware and Derek Carr, that was going to at least give me enough wins to be in that 10-win mix. 10 to.
Well, I was impressed, Dennis, and you don't often see a championship team with a 0 linebacker and a 0 defensive end. I mean, you work that left side of your defense incredibly well to shore up those deficiencies.
Yeah, I can maybe count a handful of times where somebody ran and got the defensive end 0 or plus, some big yardage gains, 0 plus 11 or plus 47 or something like that. That rarely came up because I always had Marcus Golden down there next to Danielle Hunter. So
well, it seems like the defensive end column.
Yeah, it's not as impactful as you might think, and you can't run draws against it.
No, I mean you get defense. I mean, on a 2, of course, it's huge, +7 or +43. But otherwise, +2 or +7 on a 3, -2 or +3 on a 4, and
they had the
+3 or +16 on a 12. It feels like the nose tackle is going to hurt you more. A bad nose tackle is going to hurt you more than a bad defensive end. And like you said, you can't run draws against it. So
yeah, and I've seen some other coaches do well by playing the zeros all the time. In this league, you can use your best team to calculate your defensive card, and then you can play whoever you want. So like really to count for me to get good pass defense or good run defense, I had Vinny Curry is supposed to be my starter, the 4-4, but I never play him. Every once in a while on short yardage I'll bring him in, but
the autumn wind rules are different, but that certainly helps. You can sit me up and go anybody.
Yeah, so that
these guys.
So I in the second year of the draft, and I think in the first year too, because this is the third fall league that drafts, I had the final one for the fall.
That's right.
So I asked Tom to give me some help, give me some ideas on what's the best way to rebuild, since Tom's always almost always focused on young.
Credit for half of your roster during the game, Dennis. I helped to draft all these guys.
That is not true. I mentioned early on. I believe that last year you told me about 10 minutes before the draft, hey, you doing anything? And that's when I helped you kind of off the top of my head. You sent me the spreadsheet, right. but really,
I had the guys. I had the guys ranked, but if there was ever a tiebreaker, Tom's done what Tom does, which is different from most coaches, is he'll actually watch the YouTube clips of almost every single player in the draft, say for the first 3 or 4 rounds at least, and sometimes deeper than that. So I knew that he would have a different perspective.
I don't know why you're misleading the public.
That'll make them listen to the broadcast.
Dennis, I don't know why you're misleading the public. You said that I watched the YouTube clip for almost every player in the draft.
Almost every player in the first 3 or 4 rounds, 5 rounds at least.
I watched for every player in the draft, except for offensive linemen, kickers, and punters.
Okay, so I stand corrected. So he watches for all 10 rounds. He watches every single skill position player, quarterback, running back, wide receiver. So those kind of things help defensive players. I give you an example. In the first round of this draft, I had a choice of nose tackles, Eddie Goldman or Danny Shelton. And that was before Goldman had gotten hurt. So, I think we both like both guys, but we went, I went Shelton after talking to Tom and figuring out which one of the 2 guys broke the tie. So
yeah, but of course you went your own way. It's your team, of course. I had nothing to do with this team. I just happened to be there that day because you asked me. Because like Yannick was the guy that you took. Where I was like, I like Yannick, but the other guys I like better. So if you had listened to me, you would have taken Yannick there.
Yeah, and then there's guys that I missed on, and
hold on one second, Dennis.
Sure.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should say, okay, keep talking. I'm going to be not talking for a minute.
Okay, so there's guys that
I guess he is taking credit because Shelton was so key in the second half there, Dennis.
Yeah.
I think the Tom's buttressing his points there, how he's helped.
And then there's guys like Kevin Johnson, which we both really liked, and I selected in the second round, and he just said, he hasn't been healthy. And then we missed on Eric Flowers. Tom says, "Oh, if I would have known, I would have pushed you to Flowers," and I didn't realize, that he was still on the board then either. But he's been a kind of a bust too, so it's a good thing you miss guys that you wind up being okay with not grabbing, even though he got a good rating once. So,
and you know what? Keep going a little more. That's good. Who
but
did I
then
tell you to take? Who did I tell you to take in the 8th round of that draft this year, Dennis?
help me
Looking
out.
at your roster, looking at your defense.
It wasn't Trevor Williams. I already had him on my radar. Was it?
Oh, get out of here! It was 2 Trevor Williams.
No way, man! I had Trevor Williams not from the start, knowing that he was starting for
you were so full of it, Dennis.
I really? Tell me about it.
I'll tell you, like you could probably find it on Slack, by the way. Okay.
Okay.
What happened was, first of all, Jason Verrett went on IR during the Frozen Tundra draft.
Okay, yes, that's right. So you told me he was on IR,
He
but
went
he was like
during hold on. He went on IR during the Frozen Tundra draft. And actually, and this past year, I was not helping you as much. I was going just off of your list. You were doing the flag football for one of your kids, but you were back for the second half of the draft. And right before I left, I said, by the way, Jason Verrett just went on IR. Apparently, this guy, Trevor Williams, is supposed to start. So maybe you want to grab him later in the draft. And he took him in the 8th round.
I had him on my list.
And now you say, okay, all right, never mind. You didn't mention that.
I sent you my list. You can actually look at my list. So,
okay.
You see, Frozen Tundra before draft. I'm trying to pull it up here.
But I'll give you an example with the YouTube videos. Yeah, like I've watched highlights of David Mayo, for example.
What do
you think of him?
You know, I think he's got a little bit of ability. Actually, I was kind of he was one of my deep sleepers, but hasn't worked out.
Good. Well, I just drafted him in the supplemental draft of Spring Fever.
Okay. Now, I did not like Breon Body Calhoun, and he had a very good year with the coverage grade. So,
yeah, but those nickel guys don't always get graded right. I mean, the Strat anyway. Okay, I stand corrected. I am thinking of a different player, I guess, because I'm looking at my list that I sent to Tom, and or is this the right list? Yeah, this is it. So yeah, you're right. Trevor Williams was not on my top list.
Not even on the boy.
Now the true story comes out.
Not even on the list, and you're taking. Oh, what are you talking about? You're taking credit. What are you talking about? I had the guy. I knew Jason Verrett was injured. He went on the IR during the draft. How'd you know he was? That wasn't on your list. Now, in fairness, I knew not. Trevor Williams was one of the few guys I knew nothing about him. So it wasn't like I said, "Hey, Dennis, this guy Trevor Williams looks good." All I knew was that Jason Verrett just went on IR, and on the depth chart, this guy was supposed to then be starting. It wasn't like for some reason, there are a few guys who I don't know if they don't have available highlights or don't see them, or I skip a couple of guys near the end if I'm trying to press for time to get ready. But I would not say I liked Trevor Williams. I didn't know anything about him except that Verrett just got injured. He was supposed to play. So I wouldn't say that.
But
not like my man Nick Kwiatkowski, Dennis.
Yeah,
Nick Quick. So.
Love him.
We put that to bed though. Yeah.
I was gonna say about Frozen Tundra draft like after the first week. So he had a really high PFF grade as well. So that's one of the things I think that helped me solidify it. After you had mentioned him, I went and looked at his PFF grade on my phone, and then I was like, yeah, definitely, let's grab him.
Oh, for Trevor Williams?
Yeah.
Okay, good. There you go. But yeah, you got a lot of good young players here. You got Daniil Hunter and Yannick at defensive end. You got Anthony Zettel at defensive end. You got Danny Shelton is now on New England, but maybe you can get 6 to get you 5. Marcus Golden, he's probably going to be.
Okay, so we're looking at back-to-back championships next year, right?
Well, some of the guys will be.
Well, I'm thinking more long-term, Dave, for next year because I tend to be a long-term guy. But
and remember, I won't have Spencer Ware next year, so that's the problem. So I'm going to need to figure something out on that end.
Yeah, no Marcus Golden, Bernard McKinney had a bad year.
Trade for Russell Wilson, right?
And then,
how did Jeff get him away from you?
No, Jeff drafted him. I that was the time where I had Peyton Manning, and I was at the bottom of the round because of the regular season record, and he had him targeted. I think he got both him and Bobby Wagner, and then the year before that he had taken Richard Sherman over so he got all kinds of hawks. If you look at the Red Dogs, he's got all kinds of hawks on that team. He's Seahawk. His favorite player is John L. Williams. He's Seahawk 32 on the forum, and so I knew that you got to give a fellow Seahawk fan a chance to own Russell Wilson at least one league.
Oh, that's big of you, Dennis.
He also got him in some league for 28, so that's kind of cool.
You traded for Julio Jones this year, right?
Yeah, I gave up a bunch of stuff, probably a little bit too much, but that's the kind of impact card that you can't turn your head at. I think he had that plus 20 catch in this game.
Shopez right.
Yeah, that was pretty
right.
huge.
It's not like your old snake guy. Shopez right 10 plus 20. He does have a tremendous card. I mean, especially modern receivers, the yardage isn't out there. I mean, you go back in the day and look at guys like Bob Hayes or whatever, it's a different story because the averages were so high, but there's not that many guys that average over 15 yards a catch. And I think he was at 17.4 or something. And that short pass card is really, really great for a modern receiver, of course.
Yeah.
But Julio Jones, Sammy Watkins.
That's one of the problems with my team is that I had, almost all of my targets were funneled this year to Jones, Ware, and a little bit of Watkins. If I would have known I would have been competing for a championship, then I would have tried to get a better blocking back, a better second tight end. I mean, Austin Severian Jenkins is good for the future, but for this year, I think he has a max of 30, and he's not a very good blocker. Yeah, I got him and your first round pick for Brent Grimes. That was a huge deal for me. So now I won't be picking solo. And I if I wouldn't have got him from you, there was nobody that was trading tight ends this year. So I would have had nothing.
That's very unusual.
Yeah. Usually you can pick up a second tight end pretty easily.
This is the 24-team league?
Yeah.
Yeah, usually, usually second to then, not that hard to pick up from a rebuilding team. And usually it's not that hard to find a guy who's kind of okay. You can stick him out there,
Yeah.
But,
I have to leave, guys. My wife and I are going for our workout. So
all right, have fun. Thanks for watching, Dave.
Great.
Dave, it was fun calling the game. Fun calling the game, Dave. This was our first time, calling the game intentionally together. It was a good two-man booth.
It was really good, and Dennis will enjoy listening to us praising him all over again.
Dave was a broadcaster back in the day on public television. He had his own sports show. If you didn't know that, Tom.
He mentioned something to me about it was very vague about it. So this is the most I've heard about this.
No, I did. I actually did college and high school sports, football, basketball. Yeah, I've been working with the trucks and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, he's on the field interviewing some old great Dodger great. Who was that?
Lou Johnson.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've interviewed Walter Payton, Jim Brown.
Nice.
Some of the great, some Hall of Famers. I'm real proud of that.
Awesome. That's great, Dave.
Well, it's fun working with you, Tom, and Dennis. I'm just blown away by your success. It's just phenomenal. And
yes, so you've enjoyed working with Walter, interviewing Walter Payton and Jim Brown, but nothing compares to being the color man on a broadcast with Tom Cook. Is that right?
With Tom Cook, yeah, that just elevates me to another level.
There you go. Perfect.
You know, Dennis, I think that sounds completely appropriate.
Absolutely. Anybody who can give you Trevor Williams in a draft is okay in my book. So.
Okay. See you guys. Have some fun today.
Yeah. Tell Mary I said hi.
I will. Bye.
Okay.
Seahawks snap Ed Dixon as Graham. So obviously it was Dave being very complimentary to you, Dennis, not me, of course.
Yeah, I figured as much, but yeah, Ed Dixon as a Jimmy Graham replacement. I don't know. He's probably a better blocker. At least he has that going for him. And let's face it, Jimmy Graham really wasn't that great this year. He had a good year in the red zone, but his yards per catch was way down. So maybe it is an upgrade.
If his name wasn't Jimmy Graham, and it wasn't for fantasy football, no one would have said, "Oh boy, this guy looks really good this year." He's not the same player he was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yep.
So. Did Jenkins sign somewhere, Severian Jenkins, or not?
He did with Jacksonville, so we both lost out on him.
Oh, that's right. They signed with Jacksonville. Jacksonville has really they've gone for extra beef with this running game, Dennis.
Yeah, can't believe they got Norwell.
Yeah.
Huge.
They signed Norwell to play guard. They already got Linder's the real good center. Fournette's the power back, then they signed Saran Jenkins, who's a big guy.
Yeah, great blocker.
So and I think they signed Darren Fells. I think they might have signed him also. I forget, who's known as a good blocking tight end. So they're really just like, we're really going to do this, run the ball, play defense thing even more than last year. While not making an attempt to retain Allen Robinson. So they're like, this is where they're investing their resources. So it'll be interesting. So Sheldon Richardson meeting with the Vikings still. That'll be interesting.
No, he already signed.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad to hear that because I feel like because they were mentioning Sheldon Richardson, Linval Joseph, Daniil Hunter, and Everson Griffin.
Wow,
it's a pretty nice defensive line.
Exactly.
And then you got Eric Kendricks and Anthony Barr, who's been a little up and down, but for NFL they're good. And then you got Xavier Rhodes and Harrison Smith. So and you just brought in Kirk Cousins. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you put that on top of on what Jacksonville's done. You can get a Jacksonville, Minnesota Super Bowl. Get your parlay in right there, or whatever you call it. Futures bet.
I'll take the under.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, and somebody like Richardson's, with the Seahawks, we saw him take plays off last year. Actually more with the Jets. He actually was trying a little bit better with the Hawks, but you never know when that guy can turn it on and turn it off. But
I thought you guys were pretty happy with him.
Definitely, yeah. I think we wanted him back, but he wanted $15 million, and we were only willing to give 11. So I don't know what Minnesota wound up giving him.
Okay, good. Yeah. I didn't know that he was signed with them already. I knew he was visiting. So how long has this league been around?
Oh gosh, 2007 or 8.
Have you been in from the beginning?
No, I got in with an expansion team. Here, let me see. Historical data.
Like expansion team, like
2006 was the first year.
Expansion team, like a real expansion team drafting from scrubs, or expansion team like they took half the players out of the pool the first year or something.
Yeah, the latter. They not half the players, but they started, I think, with.
Okay, so a much more competitive expansion team.
Yeah, they started with 16, and then they would take like a third. Every third player, they'd put one away, with a dummy pick. So yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, so I guess it's unusual for you to have a league that you've been in for 10 years. We haven't won a title, correct?
When did I join? It's been at least 6 or 7. Let me see. 2009. The Seahawks are in there. No. 2010. I think I joined in 2010 or 2011. Yeah, so 2011. So it's been 8 years.
I'm on the website. How do I find a list of the current coaches?
Frozen Tundra workbook, draft workbook.
Okay.
And then there's a tab in there that has coaches or directory, something like that. Yeah, 2011 was my first year. So I've played 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So 6 years before I got my championship with the 2016 set. 11, 12.
That's not bad. I thought you were in the league longer.
No, but I was in the Super Bowl. So second time in the Super Bowl. So
the 7 interception game.
Yeah, exactly. So there's the coaches. It's pretty much the usual suspects. Nathan, Paul, Gary Nagata, Dave, both Daves, Dave Will, Dave Szymanski. Got the Rileys in there.
3 Daves.
This is Wayne Unruh's second league, by the way. So, Unruh's in Somifa and Frozen Tundra. So, he's a really tough coach.
Absolutely. I saw they beat Denver only by a field goal in the playoffs, and now that was Dave Gabbert. Was that a close game, or did he get a late score?
No, that was a close game. I mean, like I said, when you're playing with average pass defense, you can get burnt. So, what can you do?
Joe Ribble, the Birmingham Americans. Was that a Negro League team?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It sounds like it.
No.
It was a USFL team.
No, they were the Stallions in the USFL. Maybe WFL, maybe, or maybe a different league. But they were the Birmingham Stallions in the USFL, I believe. But right. It was one of these other leagues. I think you're right. Maybe World League, because the World League had some American teams at one time. So these are the coaches who I know: Lawrence Green, Dave Gabbard, Jason Collard, Gary Nagata, Nathan Baylor, Jody Bowers, Joe Sardo,
The Birmingham
Jeff
Americans.
Smith, Butch Tramick.
Birmingham Americans were in the World Football League.
All right, Dave Saminsky, Dave Will, Dale Van Dieven, the DVD, Paul Halfman, Half Ankowitz, David Pachter. Does he have a championship? He should have a championship. He's a great coach.
I don't think so. Let me look at the past champions.
Come on, David.
He's always competing, though. He's always in there. Historical data. Yeah, no, there's definitely some good coaches, though. I think David did get a championship. He was San Francisco, right?
He is San Francisco,
So
yes.
He lost to Nathan in 2012. Let's see. Nathan might know. He's on. I think Nathan's on here. Oh no, he did win. He won in 2011. My first year in the league. That was the Pachter factor.
The Pachter factor. Nice. Toronto Argonauts vacated, Dennis. What's going on there?
That's I want to say Bill Vargas.
Oh, isn't that was that Claude's team?
No, that was he left a couple years ago once they got rid of the injuries. Yeah, Bill Vargas. Bill Vargas is he's in our
SSFA.
Yeah, he's in SFA, but he dropped the Argonauts here.
He might also be in Sleep for 28. I'm not sure.
Bill, go to the trade log. Look at the trade that Toronto did with gosh, it was like for the third pick or something like that. The third overall pick, he traded it to one of the guys that's in Gabbard's league. Let me see. So yeah, go to the very top. I think it's like trade 2 or 3. And I knew he would quit. I knew after he did this trade, I was like, oh, this guy's not going to last. He's quit before. Yeah, this one, there it is. Toronto. He gave the third overall pick and a third
pick and 3.3. It looks like.
Yeah,
for Sheldon Richardson, Mason Foster, and what?
And a 10.
And the number 10.
Yeah, so he gave up. He could have drafted Joey Bosa at 3 at
so
3.
So Dennis, I'm just going to go out on a limb. I'm guessing there's no TRC in this league.
There is, but I tried to. By the time I noticed the trade, it had already been committed. You have to, as a trade member committee, you have to like go to the website, download the thing, and look to see what trades have been made. And I'm like, by the time I saw that, I'm like, Gary, this is awful. I goes, yeah, I already talked to him about it, and his justification was, look I need that 6 to get to the next tier of run defense. If I take Bosa, I'm not going to get that. And a 5'5" inside linebacker would cost me a 3rd-round pick. And it's kind of, kind of hazy, fuzzy logic there. But Gary didn't see that was good enough for Gary to say, okay, he didn't like it either, but he let it go through. And by the time I noticed it, I couldn't bring it up to vote. But I would have voted against it.
I would have voted against it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's just neat. Even if you're gonna get that package, you don't give up a 3rd as well. If you can say, okay, I'm getting 3 pieces for the 3rd overall pick, fine. Even though I still wouldn't have liked it, but at least it would have been more palatable.
And how did the Argonauts do on the field this year?
Oh, terrible! I think. I don't know. Let me pull it up. Toronto. Oh no, that's right. Because Gary took him over and coached him for the last part of the season. Let me see. They were 7-9.
Okay. But so then they had Sheldon Richardson instead of 3rd pick in the draft.
Right.
Who's it? Carson Wentz was probably 1st. Ezekiel Elliott was in the draft. Jalen Ramsey was in the draft. You mentioned Joey Bosa.
I got Ramsey at 7.
Wentz. Dak Prescott, of course.
Yep, he had some players to choose from.
Some options there. Well, I guess the Cincinnati coach was happy.
Yeah, Justin Nagel is the Cincinnati coach, and he's on the forum. I think he's in that hometown league with Dave Gabbard and Jody Bowers, that Chicago league, head-to-head league. So.
The Gabbinator. Those guys in Chicago. I thought Dave was like in the Carolinas or something.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but it's a face-to-face league. They all play in. I thought it was in Illinois, somewhere in Illinois, maybe not Chicago proper, but I'll have to check with them to double check.
You would know better than me because you talk to these guys, whereas all I do is criticize their moves.
Well, the third overall pick, he did indeed get Carson Wentz there. So this draft went Elliott 1, Prescott 2, Wentz 3.
Oh my goodness.
Goff went 7th.
If you trade Sheldon Richardson, if you trade Carson Wentz for Sheldon Richardson, maybe you should leave the league before they throw you out.
Exactly. This is
and we like Bill. Bill a lot. Nothing against you, Bill.
Yeah, but I had the 7th pick. I had traded up from 10th to 7th, and then
I remember that. I remember talking with you there.
Yeah,
when the guy wanted to move from 6 to 7, and you were gung ho to get Jalen Ramsey, and you guys are drafting after I think 2 or 3 weeks of NFL play, at least 2 weeks, and Goff was already playing well, and I was telling you to stay home. If you had to, you draft Goff and trade him next year.
Right.
But you gave up a 3 and moved up to get Ramsey.
No. A fifth. But still, I did give up a pick.
Okay. Oh, those are 3. Okay.
I had like 4 5th-round picks. I gave up one of those.
But you got Ramsey.
Yeah, I got Ramsey. I really wanted him. And when I looked at the draft ahead of time, there was really 7 premium guys I wanted, with Goff being number 8. This is, as I was getting things ready, and Goff hadn't played that well because the regular season hadn't started. But then, as you're right, I saw him play better. I should have just stayed put. I could have traded Goff for a cornerback and something else, another future first-round pick.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't have Ramsey. I wouldn't have the number 1 cornerback.
But you know what? If you really want the guy, and you're a good GM and coach anyway, it's a double counting lead. Ramsey's probably the best corner in the league right now. He's certainly the best corner to have. If I could have one corner on a keeper league team right now, it would probably Jalen Ramsey. If I was starting a team right now.
Yeah, so I'm happy with that.
And you got him, and it's a double counting league. So yes,
And the pressure's off. Like you said, this is a young team. It should be competitive for the next 4 or 5 years. I got my championship, so now I don't have to go crazy trying to trade for cards just to get that first championship. It's done. It's off the books, and now I can just enjoy the team.
Well, it's interesting when we talk about some of our different approaches at times.
Oh, Jeff's here. Hey, Jeff, can you hear us? Knock knock. Jeff Smith is in the house. He might not have his microphone on. Well, if you can't talk, Jeff, you did a great job. Really impressed with the team you put together and your coaching. And this one definitely could have gone either way. So if you can jump on and talk, great. If not, no big deal.
I think he's silently flipping us the bird, Dennis.
I'm telling him, he's typing to him.
It's like we talk about different approaches, Dennis.
Oh, there he is. I hear it. Jeff, you there? Come in, Jeff.
I think you're having psychological. I think you're having optimistic hearing, Dennis. I did not hear anything.
No, I heard like air, like dead air, like he had turned his mic on, but I don't know, maybe not. Go ahead. You're saying about different approaches?
Well, like if I had this team, next year I would take off. With Spencer Ware is gone, and
I got nobody else. Christine Michael and Robert Turbin. I have no running backs.
Spencer Ware is gone. Marcus Golden is injured. McKinney had a bad year. Ramsey's your own. Well, no, you got Trevor Williams too. So I'm not saying I would take off, but but I would be excited by the young players and know that Derek Carr wasn't great and that I don't have a running back, and I'd probably focus all future and be oh, I might have a bomb squad down the line. You have Michael Pierce also though. Yeah, but you have enough here to win with next year. But you'll go much more for the year next year than I would.
Yeah, I could trade a couple pieces and see what just to get that running back. But
you got 2 nose tackles. You probably trade Danny Shelton, or did Cleveland play the 4-3 this year though? Didn't they?
They did. So he'll be a defensive tackle, and I have Kyle Williams. So I think won't he be a defensive tackle too? I might have to switch to a 4-3 next year.
We got Michael Pierce on the bench though.
But I got Danielle Hunter. I got Vinny Curry. So I've got Zettel. Yeah, so
Zettel and Yannick. Well, you got Hunter, Zettel, and Yannick, depending on what Yannick gets. Because Zettel might be a 5, so you might alternate him and Yannick depending on what Yannick gets. I think Kyle Williams will be a defensive tackle. So you got him and Shelton or Michael Pierce, depending which way you want to go. You know, so Golden won of a card next year, but you know, I think he's going to become a defensive end because I think they're going to go 4-3 because they hired the Panthers defensive coordinator. He would be a very good defensive end. He is the right size and forward. He's more of a pass rusher anyway.
Right.
You know, on the other hand, you already have good defensive ends, but these things happen. We don't know, but we don't know that Zettel. Well, you have Yannick, yeah, because I was going to say we don't know what Zettel's going to do, but you have Hunter and Yannick. So you have good defensive ends already.
So I missed your David Mayo. You said you watched film on him. Is he any good? Well, I just realized he's on my team.
That's why I mentioned him. I brought up your defense to find a guy. I had kind of liked him. He was a deep sleeper, but he hadn't done too well when given an opportunity, and he's had some chances with Kuechly injured. So, you know, look, not every a guy's a deep sleeper for a reason. You know, I mean, you know, it doesn't mean he's, you know, these are guys that you're getting very late in the draft that I think might do something. You know, so
Jason McCourty is the cornerback I was thinking of that I had targeted as a trade target because his PFF grades were so good. He's not going to keep a 5, but he'll be a 5 next year. That could be another tradable piece as well.
And well, yeah, and he's going to New England, and now he signed. I thought I heard that they signed him.
Yeah, they did. They traded for him. He was going to get cut. Cleveland was going to cut him, and instead New England offered a 7th, and they took that. So
yeah, so we'll see what happens. But March 16th, I have to run, Dennis. But
all right, man.
Congratulations on the title, and
yep.
and now it's the long slow wait. How many spring leagues are you in?
3: SSFA, SOMSVA, and Spring Fever, and then Battle Royale still going on. It's about halfway through.
Okay, how's your Battle Royale team doing?
7-1. So I lost I got crushed one game by Rick Byron's and his Orange County Ramblers, but besides that, I've been competitive in the other ones.
How is Marcus Mariota doing?
Very well. I mean, as you know, in that rule set, your completion percentage is gonna drag, but he's done enough with his legs and his arm to justify being a starting quarterback in that league. You
have who's running backs you have?
I have Kansas City, so Spencer Ware and Tyreek Hill.
Okay, nice. And your defense is what?
Good.
3-4, 4-3.
3-4.
Interesting. You know, a lot of guys winning with 4-3s.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something to that 4-3 with a good run defense. I don't know.
Yeah, especially if you have some pass rush with that 4-3, that seems to.
If it wasn't so cowardly, I would gamble. I would try it with one of my Summit League teams, but I don't think so. So we'll see. All right, Dennis, I'll catch you later. Good luck. Congratulations.
Thanks again. Okay, take care.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.